we've seen throughout this particular Black History Month. There's a lot, and there's a lot I want to put up on here, but I wanted to put up images that people can instantly see and then recognize. But there's been so much. There's been so much that's happened this Black History Month, right? You've had at the start of the month Shabuzi winning some award, some country award, and then him saying that literally immigrants built America, and then doubling down on that point. You've had this Jamaican tether woman. She's made some type of film saying Black Americans being should be sacrificed. You've had Donald Trump and his administration putting out this image of Michelle and Barack as monkeys or gorillas, and that's been blasted all over the internet. You've had some other tether create some Disney cartoon Captain Durag. You've had people say that they were gonna strap devices on themselves so they can unalive a bunch of foundational Black Americans. You've had Adonis being attacked by people in Romania. You've had Haitians calling people dirty. You've had what's that one? You've had Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. You've had them be verbally assaulted. Okay, not just offended, they were verbally assaulted at the BAFTA Awards, and they received no apology about that. My question is, why has this been, this year in particular, there's always something. But this year, Gavin Newsom, that's another one. Gavin Newsom saying that he relates to Black people because he can't read. And a lot of people saying, no, he didn't say Black. He didn't have to say Black. We knew what he meant. We're not going to play that game, because if it was Donald Trump who said the same thing, y'all would be all like, see what Donald Trump said? So don't play that game with Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom was speaking to a Black man, and he was speaking in Atlanta. So Gavin Newsom knew exactly what he was doing when he said that. Okay, and there's so much stuff. I don't even got really the time to talk about all of the stuff that we've gone through. My thing is, why has there been such an attack? Why has there been such an attack? You've had Dr. Umar talking about he's gonna create a new DAFA movement. Why has there been such an attack on Black Americans this month? I'm gonna ask you guys this question, and I want us to talk about that as we wrap the month up, and then us to talk about how we should be moving forward. But I submit to you that the reason for that is because we're taking our cultural renaissance to the next level, and everybody is trying to keep us in a certain place. Everybody is trying to humble us. Like, there was people being out like, Black History Month is about the diaspora. It's not about you guys. You guys need to stop centering yourselves. You guys need to stop being all quote unquote uppity. There's a lot of people who feel like Black Americans have been uppity for too long. Okay. So all of this month's disrespect. Now, I'm not saying it's all coordinated, but it's a reason it's come out specifically this month. I mean, this month is just wild with all of the stuff that we've gone through. The month ain't even over yet.
How old are you, Afro Elite? About what age are you? I'm 50 years old of age. I wanted to ask you just about what, so I can get a sense of a chronology and a history if during my submission on your panel.
Okay. All right. I'm 29.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff this month. There's been a whole lot of stuff this month. So this is why we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about why this is. And people say, we're going to talk about why this is, and we're going to talk about exactly what we need to be doing moving forward. Going forward, we're going to be talking about that. All right. Zizi, what have you seen?
Oh God, I've seen the ample amount of disrespect this month. It's egregious. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely been egregious. The things that we have had to dissect, expose, respond to. I mean, it's exhausting. Honestly, it's egregious. But it's intentional for sure. These people don't play, and I'm sure I can't specifically think about last year, but I'm sure that this is a pattern as far as Black History Month goes, that this is a ritual that the white tea supremacists put us through, is that they always want to find a way to humiliate or extract some sort of energy, and disrespect ours, especially our ancestors during this time. So, but this year specifically has been very much, again, back to back from the beginning, from the Super Bowl to Shabuzi to, Do-Rag Man, all the great examples you got up here. It's been very intentional. And not only just from America, even seeing this intentional disrespect from overseas. That's why I'm like, I think this is probably a pattern. If we go back and look at some of the last few years of Black History Month, we'll probably see a pattern. But the fact that they're even disrespecting us internationally, it's like in the UK from the award show, it's just given they definitely want our attention. They definitely want us to see that they don't like what we're doing. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that, is that they don't like the delineation movement that's happening. They see how effective it is, and that so many people are waking up. So many foundational Black Americans are, reclaiming who we are. So yeah, they have to be intentional and have to put as much effort as we are as into delineation to counter that. So of course we're going to continue to see this disrespect, unfortunately. We'll see it for the rest of the year, but I definitely think this was a special time out the month. I think they was specifically trying to disrespect our ancestors, and delineation movement. What's going on right now, for sure.
I agree. It's like a humbling ritual.
Exactly.
It's like y'all been a little bit too uppity. Y'all been a little bit too uppity. All of this pride that you guys have all of a sudden, we don't really like that. So yeah, we're gonna have to knock you down a notch. You on your high horse a little bit too long.
Come on.
In the chat room, they're talking about, there was some woman, I'm glad they're bringing it up, there was some Hispanic woman who said that the reason why she doesn't date Black Americans is because Black American men naturally have are loud. First off, Black people are loud, Black men and women, and then Black American people have some very weird body odor.
What?
Yeah,
Black Americans?
Yeah, Black American people. That's what she said. Black American people have very weird body odor, and all I'm gonna say about that is, I don't think Mexicans can talk right now.
I'm like, come on, really? Black Americans
that's all I'm gonna say. Mexicans, y'all got enough to focus on. Y'all don't come on now. Y'all got too many problems. And a lot of that, and we're gonna see this year, I predict we're gonna see this year, a lot of that is because when they was asking for our assistance when it comes to ICE and our advocacy when it came to ICE, like last year, they would talk, well, not last year, last month, with Renee Good and Alex Preddy and all of that. They were saying that, hey, look, we were saying, hey, man, that's not our fight. It's not our fight. And no matter how much they've begged and tried to manipulate and gaslight us into activating and trying to mobilize against ICE, we just sat on the couch. We said, no, it's not our fight. It's not our problem. And you're not going to manipulate us into that. And they're mad about that. So I predict that we're going to see a whole lot of open racism. I'm talking about just blatant, open, unwarranted racism coming from the Hispanic community. I bet because of the outrage of us not assisting them when they needed it.
Yeah,
it's already happened a couple of years, about a decade ago. There's been a copious amount of reports coming out of California about Hispanics that were firebombing Black American homes and neighborhoods in our Black American neighborhoods in California. And that's a simple Google search can talk about that. But there's been copious amounts of that happening. Well, I wanted to speak to this Afro Elite. Afro Elite, you said something that was prescient. You said,
wait, hold on. Before you give your opinion, we got to set the room. Let's set a decorum. Hold on, we got to set a decorum. BX not here, so we got to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Zizi, can you do that real quick? I'm setting this up real quick.
Surely. All right. So when you come on the panel, please mute. All right. Until you are chosen to speak to the host, our wonderful host, Afro Elite. He is going to choose you. He usually remembers the order in which you come up, so he will choose you by the order in which you came up. Please state your your age, and your ethnic background. All right. If you're bi-ethnic, please state we understand. If you have FBA, half Puerto Rican, whatever, just make it clear who you are. And what's the other thing? Oh, make sure you please help if the host get to the goal, gift goal. You see those little those finger snaps at the top of the screen. Press that. Also become what is that called? A subscriber? Is that what those called? Subscriptions?
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, become a subscriber because you get priority to come on the panel. So yeah.
Yep. Please use TikTok friendly language too. Say like smurder, unalive, all of that stuff. Be very careful with your language because TikTok will shut us down, and they have before for certain things. If you're going to speak on other groups of people, just be careful with how you say that because we don't want to fall into the quote unquote hate speech category, you know. So just choose your words very professionally, I will say. But with that being said, go ahead. You got it. American Negro.
Yeah, I was going to say that you said something that was very important. You said, let me turn this off. You said, look, there's been a lot of disrespect coming from different places all throughout the world. We're looking at the BAFTA. You have the BAFTA. You have the Haitian girl. You got that crazy girl that said BOMB, FBAs, and all down the usual suspects of what's been going on this month. I want to submit to you that you're right. It's not a concerted effort by a certain group of people. Even in K-pop, they were talking about K-pop, how K-pop has been appropriating and taking Black American culture, and now they want to all of a sudden get rid of, I guess, the Black member of a certain female K-pop group. The point is that I think, and being 50 years old and looking at this and looking at the dwindling of our institutions, what I believe it is the lack of ownership of what we create. And it is the dwindling or the emaciation of the institutions that we've created. Back in the 90s, even in the 80s when I was growing up, we had the State of Black Affairs. Every year, all of the seminal political activists and the leaders at the time, Jesse Jackson was at, even though I don't believe in Jesse Jackson, but it was from Jesse Jackson all the way down to Louis Farrakhan. They were on the same stage as each other, and they actually had, it was on all the TV channels, one time of the year where Black Americans could talk about the state of Black affairs and how to progress forward. Now, again, that was in the 80s and the 90s. We had retained our musical inventions, our production studios from LA Face to Island Def Jam Records. People were becoming millionaires off of music that 20 years before, that wasn't the case. And we owned our cultural inventions. If it were just, it could be hip hop and rap, of course. But the point is that Double Dutch is now in Japan for some reason. So everything that we created, we retained and owned. Sometime between after the late 1990s and the early 2000s, I think we lost our own ability to do course correction. That's what I'm saying. Internally, we had internal debates amongst ourselves, how to grow, how to move, what to do. But now we don't have that anymore. Not a single publication is being done. Jet Magazine, Ebony magazines are online. Essence is owned by Liberian. We just don't have those cultural retentions and those social retentions that we did back before. So I think it leaves us open and it leaves our gates porous for others to attack us with ease. And so the smallest thing can disrupt us when the smallest thing 30 years ago would just be dust. It would just be dust off our shoulders, right? It'd be water down a duck's back. So this is what I submit to you, that maybe it's less about the attacks on us and more about we're not being able to control our own culture as we move forward. Now I'm mute. Thank you.
Okay. Well, does us not being able to control, I'm asking, I'm not even trying to refute or argue, but does us not being able
to conversation?
Yeah. Does us not being able to control it, does that warrant the disrespect? Because we're seeing a lot of people getting on stage being called the N-word and people calling us dirty on podcasts and people making mockery cartoons of our culture and all of that. So what would you say about that? I mean, I do agree. I do agree that there is a necessity for ownership. I fully agree with you on that. I'm not going to take away from that or belittle that. However, I am going to say that we are seeing loud, bigoted disrespect for a reason, though. And we are going to have
Yeah,
to
because
acknowledge that
you
as well,
asked,
too.
you said, well, does it warrant it? I don't think
Uh-huh.
that's the right. I think what it does is it exacerbates the instances of what you see. So instead of you having the collage of all of what happened this February, next year it'll be double that size, or maybe in a month or two it'll be, or maybe next year it'll be triple that size. And the reason why is because, again, we don't have those concerted institutions. We don't even access to all of what Ebony and Jet had done when it comes to decentering European standards of beauty and recentering Black American standards, and trying to have that discussion about who we're to be called. We're having these discussions on TikTok about what to be called. Jesse Jackson. No one wanted to be called African American. Not even my mama was cussing at the screen when Jesse Jackson back in '88 was talking about that mess. And now here we are, some almost 50 years later. Wow, 50 years later, and we're having these discussions on an app for the white folks and everyone else to see, when we should be having these discussions internally amongst our own institutions that we own. And so what's going on is that the more the less control that we have over our culture, then you're going to see the more attacks from Haitians and everyone else who has proximity to us and have access to us. And that's the biggest problem. We're allowing people of the African diaspora, including whites or whatever, you're allowing them to have access to us and infiltrate these internal discussions that normally we would have apart from everyone else. And that's the problem I'm seeing.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you. But if you said that the black, essentially, what was it? The Black State of the Union or something like that, right?
That's correct. With Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, it was all the.
If that was televised, everybody would be able to see that too. I want you to just answer this real quick, and then we're gonna have to move on here.
No one was.
Okay, hold on, brother. Okay.
Yeah.
In this situation, out of these incidents up here, and there are more, but out of these incidents up here, what do you think wouldn't have happened if we did have ownership of JAD and all of that? What do you think wouldn't have happened?
I think the lady who allowed the three iterations of the N-word as a result of a tick from that white man, that would have been edited before and ahead of time, because BAFTA is keenly aware of the news media and what the repercussions of allowing that to go global would be. Right. And so if we had our magazines up and center, they were still global, they were still up and going, then, someone of that news media ecosystem, someone that pointed out that white lady who allowed this unedited version to go global 2 hours later, someone like that white lady like that of BAFTA, she would have been cognizant in a media ecosystem and not have done that. The same thing with when we're talking about the Mr. Durag, the Haitian lady on that podcast show. When you have these lack of gatekeeping or lack of high presence of guards, right, for Black American culture, then you have people like the Haitian lady or whatever that picks at our weaknesses. They pick at it. So if these institutions did exist, if we did have the State of Black Affairs annually, if we did have these things up front and center for all the world to see, you would have less of ability for someone like this Haitian lady or whatever just to casually say, well, there's dirty Black Americans, because they would think twice about the repercussions ahead of time instead of now here we are talking about it after the shit's been done. I'll get off your panel. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you very much.
I see what he's saying.
I see what he's saying. I see where he's coming from, and I think it's necessary, and I think he is correct. I don't think that is going to. I don't think it's a one size fits all solution. No, I do think that. I mean, back during those days, we still had racist cartoons. We still were depicted stereotypically in the media. It's not like everything was hunky-dory back when we owned those things. We were still depicted as apes and animals and all of this stuff. I don't think that if we owned Jet Magazine, Trump wouldn't have posted that, or we wouldn't have had that. acknowledge the importance of ownership and of what he's saying. However, I don't think that any of the incidents that we're referring to right now would not have happened if we had owned more media.
Exactly. Yeah.
But all right, yeah. But that's an interesting conversation. I'm glad he brought that point up. I am glad he brought it up. BX, how you doing?
I'm not good. I don't understand. Like, I fell asleep and my phone ran out of charge. So I plug it in and I call my dad because I got to speak to him every morning or my day is incomplete. And then I start checking my notifications and it says that I missed a call on Instagram from you. And then it says you were live. I said, live? And not getting here. And how long you been live?
We have not been live that long. BX, we waited. Me and Z was on the phone. We waited and we was all like, oh, we got to do it because she got to go to work later. And, we got to get this out before the end of the month. So that's why I was like, oh, we
That
really
was the first call. That was the first person on the panel. That was the person who just spoke.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering if
I told you
Liberal
she was
dropped.
going to feel betrayed. I told you she was going to feel
Yeah. I just, but that's okay. Liberal, did you drop? Because I entered the room, Liberal. Me and Liberal, we had a little tussle, but we fine. We're cool.
Okay. All right.
Just true strong will, Black Americans with different ideas on how to get to the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm totally over it.
Yeah, like that.
I ain't called. I ain't going to back chat and I'm complaining and venting. So
Okay.
it's just. So okay. Did decorum was it set?
Yeah. ZZ set the
What?
decorum this time. So
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I think I did all right. I forgot about the word thing though. Afro had to come back and say that, but I think I did all right.
You hit the 1870 census.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. We got to work on that, Cece.
Yeah, I ain't get over there.
No problem. We do need a do-over, but you know what, Afroly, I don't think you really pay attention to my posts, right? You're so busy. But I do, and I stopped for a little while, the National Black History 365. There's some of us who spotlight Black history all year long because our history does not fit in just a month, and our history is continuous, and that's why people are mad at us, because we just keep breaking record after record after record and finding out new stuff. Did you hear the latest find that we had, Afro?
No, I didn't hear it. No.
Oh. So we found out that when the Haitians, you ever wonder why it's always America invaded us and they did XYZ in 1915, but they never talk about what happened like 1910?
No.
Germany finally gave them a loan, right? So basically, the golden stuff that they say America took, it wasn't theirs, it was Germany's. But Brother Theory tells it way better than I do. But I'll get the resource and the proof right over to you. So the ending, we tried to help them.
Okay.
All right. So basically, yeah. But sometimes people don't know their own history.
That's true.
And see the comments? They sold themselves to Germany. So when we were in there, because they had Germany back there, they took what was rightfully Germany's. It was never the Haitians. So when they talk about America destabilizing them, they destabilized themselves by getting into bed with the Germans. And, it went up from there. But yeah, so we're finding out all these things. So I'm going to go on mute, I guess. I don't know. I'm still waking up, and Afro just, y'all know you and ZZ, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't do that. Don't do us like that. Come on, we waited a minute too.
How long is a minute?
I called you a few
Or
times.
a long time? A
Yeah,
literal
how many
minute.
times I called you I called you a bunch of times.
I was in here. I was snoring, man. Phone was all unplugged and whatnot. Okay, I'll go on mute.
I get it. It is what it is. Cool. It's cool. We all here now. So we're gonna get to the speakers. We're gonna get to Sir Stain, and then we're gonna move from that.
What's going on? Appreciate y'all for having me up.
How you doing?
I think going back to what the brother was saying earlier, I think really the biggest thing about the institutions and the media legacy medias that we used to own is I think we had enough power to issue out consequences to people who would do disrespectful things like at the BAFTAs or what the lady said about us being dirty Black Americans or what have you. I think we may have lost that power. Not to say that it is we don't have it collectively, but on an institutional level, we've kind of lost the level to just say like, hey, listen, if you guys are going to use Tourette's as a reason to excuse that, well, we just ain't going to show up. And in fact, we're not going to promote or tell any of our Black actors and directors to participate and patronize into y'all's nonsense. And just like with the lady, the Haitian lady, you won't ever be seen on another Black podcast again. You know, it's one of those situations, but I'll land it with that.
I agree. There does need to be some consequences. Okay. Speaking of consequences, your partners need some backup, brother.
Hey, they're gonna be all right.
Okay. He's like, I'm handling business right now. I feel it. I get it. But yeah, absolutely. And there's been people talking about that. The BAFTAs, they need to be boycotted. The BAFTAs need to not have any type of Black people there at all. There was this one British woman who was talking about, oh, I'm so glad that the BAFTA awards finally mess with Black Americans because Black Americans, they stand on business and there's not enough of us to really do anything and all of that. Look how it took one single incident and now the BAFTA awards are in hot water. And they've been there just getting disrespected, kicked around, denigrated, and we ain't seen nothing from them. I didn't know nothing about no BAFTA awards before this.
Me either.
Honestly. Now, I'm not an award show person. I will say that. But I didn't know anything about the BAFTA awards until this. I didn't even know this was a UK thing. Okay. And the fact that, people are talking about consequences now, I would be very disappointed if any Black person shows up at any BAFTA awards at all, period, going forward. Okay, Delroy Lindo, he said that he would have felt it would have been appropriate if the owner of the BAFTA had addressed Michael and Delroy at least after the show. They didn't even talk to Delroy or Michael the whole night. That they made a statement publicly that if anybody, quote unquote, was offended, and they did that like a day later, if anybody was offended, he has Tourette's, not even a real apology. But they should have immediately pulled Michael and Delroy to the side behind the curtain or whatever and apologized to them. And they were not given an apology. They still haven't really been given an apology. So therefore, the BAFTA Awards is not safe for Black people. And if you go up there, then you're condoning that behavior. That's how I take it. Okay. And for that woman too, nobody knows who she is and she should never be on another podcast again. If she decides to make a podcast, it should be completely ignored, shadow banned by the entire community, ostracized by the entire community. There does need to be something that we do to show how serious we are. And we can do that. We have done that. We've shown Target how serious we are. Yeah. They got rid of a whole CEO because of what we've done. You know? So we can do it if we organize and if we stay on code and stay committed to it, not just doing it for a little bit. If we stay committed to it, I don't care what the BAFTAs come up with next year. There should be no audience, no Black audience they have at all. So I agree with you on that.
But this is something we just saying should happen.
You said what?
Is not going to BAFTA next year something that they said that we should do, like it's already in effect. We said that, or we're just saying we should do.
I've already seen videos of people saying they will not watch the BAFTAs anymore. I've seen videos, so that's as close. I would say that's kind of official. It's something that a lot of people are starting to put out there. Mind you, they wasn't getting the audience from me like that, no way.
I'm like, I don't think it's gonna take much.
They weren't really getting that audience, no way. But now they're in bad press, and bad American press is not really good for them because they need American stars to go over there and legitimize them. And if you don't have American stars going over there legitimizing you, And if they're all like, okay, well, if I go over there, I'm going to get drugged on social media, so I'm not going to go over there anymore. Then they're going to lose money. They're going to lose stars. They're going to lose opportunities and all of that. So they're going to be just like Essence. What's up?
Yeah. Some of these shows need to be. There's somebody named Kitar in there. You see his comments, Afro.
No,
Should I just bounce him, mute him? Yeah, talking
no, what
about,
happened?
well, he was saying a couple of cuss words, and then he was saying that the lady, the Haitian lady, winked her eye at the black podcast, trying to say, I guess, I don't know. I think
Okay,
he's
and I'm
insinuating.
seeing that too. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on to Urban Matters because he was next. I'm
No
gonna say this
problem.
too. There's a lot of people talking about that. Oh, they think the whole Haitian lady thing was staged. They think the whole. Let's say for the sake of the argument, it is. That was not their first time bringing a Haitian who said that. Okay, we've had repeated incidents of them saying that. Kai Sanat has said that himself. Was Kai Sanat, was that a setup too? Was every single time it happens, is it all a setup? Or are you guys saying that so you can avoid accountability? Because if a black American woman said that about Haitian people, y'all wouldn't say it was staged. Y'all wouldn't even buy that. Y'all would say that that's us hating on Haiti. That's exactly what y'all would say. Okay, but now it's the other way around, and y'all in the hot seat. Now y'all want to say this was elaborate plot for what? To hate on y'all? To make y'all look
Yeah.
bad? Really? For what? What did she get out of that?
I think that legendary Kitar was not here yesterday. We did adjust the podcast somewhat, right? We adjust podcasts. And if they keep platforming the people who keep continuously disparaging us, did we not, Afro?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's saying, I don't know if that's a he or she, to hold the podcast accountable. My thing for this is, that's all well and good, but she's still going to be held accountable too. So are the Haitians over here running amok, right? All up in our government, frauding our government, voting no to our repair, and doing a lot of things that they doing. You do not escape accountability, and you could use lower caps, sir. If my son was here, he would say, "Stop screaming at me," all caps. But yet, she doesn't get to escape accountability. It came out of her mouth.
Yeah, she said it. Regardless, if it was a setup, she agreed to it. That's all I'm gonna say. She shouldn't have, and she know better. Now, this is what it is. Okay, and I don't think it was a setup at all. Okay, but let's get to the next speaker. We're gonna get to Urban Matters.
Salute, 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 Afro. Salute to the ladies, the strong sisters in the building. I'm indigenous FBA. I'm from Florida. Trace my lineage back all the way to the early 1700s. Yeah, I was listening to the first brother. He kind of gave me a little bit of boule energy. And the reason why I said that, I mean, he was saying some good things. He was kind of all over the place. But to me, he was being a little bit too apologetic with his delivery. But these, and let's keep it in mind, these are the tethers. These black, I meant to say these immigrants that are coming here, being disrespectful, especially during Black American History Month. I like to phrase it as that Black American history because they'll hijack that Black History Month thing. And so I try to, be precise when I identify our history. But yeah, down here in Florida, man, we got a extreme population of Haitian individuals, and they call them Zoes down here. They call them the Zoe Nation. And most of them in the South Florida area. See, I'm from the Central Florida area, so I'm more rural. I'm around Orlando area, Disney World and all of that. So we have an influx of a lot of Latinos, like further from up north, Puerto Ricans, and some Cubans are in the South too, in South Miami area. But the ones that I noticed, and we have a lot of Jamaicans that have been here since the 70s and 80s. And a lot of the older immigrants that come here and been here the legal way, have their paperwork in order, they're not real disrespectful like a lot of these youngsters, Johnny come latelys. And I think that's due to the Democrat Party incentivizing a lot of these folks the way that they incentivize our our gatekeeper boule class of Black Americans. They can be pestering too, because I had a organization that I started, I called it the African American Chamber of Commerce for my local county. And I founded it, put all my money in it. I was the chairman, and I was infiltrated and sabotaged by the boule class of Black Americans. So they can be just as, and see what they're doing now. They're teaming up with the Democrats in they got this big political movement, and they're very aware of FBAs and delineation, and they're scared right now. They're running scared, but we're standing on business. And as far as that UK thing, listen, those immigrants, the melanated immigrants from those areas, they allow these UK and British people to talk like that to them. And Lennox Lewis, he's a Jamaican. He's been living in back and forth in the UK, back and forth in Jamaica. But for the most part, like I say, the older ones, they're pretty respectable. It's these young ones that have this disrespect, this disdain for Black Americans. And I think that's because we're standing up and we're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to gatekeep our culture. We're not going to continue to allow y'all to come over here and just hijack our culture and then turn around and talk greasy with the Democrats, the way that Trump told them, hey, look, and stand up, Democrats, if you put America first. You put them Black, Americans. He's basically saying us, the Black Americans. And the Democrats showed us, man, they really don't care for America, period. So, bro, I'm going to jump into the background, and I'm going to digress, and I'm going to land my plane. And I salute to you, Afro Elite. Keep standing on business. Keep standing on lineage business. And ladies, y'all keep standing on lineage business for sure.
Appreciate
Peace
that.
and love.
Thank you very much. We're going to move.
Oh, yeah, and I'm 50 plus. Like my man's was like, I don't know what difference that makes your age. I don't know.
Yeah, he did say that.
He asked me about my age, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I assumed he asked me about it because I guess he was gonna ask me if I remember that era.
Yeah,
Right.
I assume he did, but
See, that's what I mean about the boule energy. Like, he just automatically gonna judge you because of your age. Because what y'all are doing is really, really, it's fascinating, because you don't really think that somebody at your age group can have the type of intelligence y'all have. But y'all are very intellectual. I love it, man. Keep grinding. Keep pushing.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Can I come in right now, brother?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Brother Drew, man. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. 57 years old. First of all, I want to say I'm honored.
Phone's ringing, brother. I don't know.
No, that's not my phone.
Okay.
But I'm honored to be on here, brother. I've been following you from afar for at least a year or two. Watching what you're doing. Like I said, I'm 57 years old from Jacksonville, Florida. My uncle was Malcolm X bodyguard. So I got a lot of.
Okay.
Damn.
How they call?
In office.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But Nellie Fuller Jr. was my mentor. So I just like to sit back and watch. And I just want to tell you young kids, I mean, not kids, I don't want to call you kids, but y'all young guys, y'all doing a great job, man. I really have nothing to add to the conversation, because what y'all saying is what we need right now. And it's the youth that's going to do it. And I'm so, so proud of y'all, of what y'all doing. And I just sit back in the cut and watch. Why is he calling me?
To take that call.
Anyway. But ZZ,
somebody is trying to the hardest to get in contact with you. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, they probably see me on there talking to you.
Okay.
Anyway, ZZ, I got a daughter named ZZ. ZZ, her name is Azizi, Azizi.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and man, she's 20 years old, and she's just like you, man. She got that spirit, and y'all keep up the spirit, man. I don't want to take too much from y'all, but I got a lot of knowledge, man. But I just don't get into the back and forth, because I don't want to add to the confusion. But what y'all doing, man, I ain't got nothing to add, because y'all saying everything, man. You got the sister ZZ, you got BX, you got you, and I just be watching y'all all the time, just quiet. But I just wanted to say that y'all keep up the good work, man, for the youth. Y'all doing it. And then they say each one teach one. No, it's each one teach six. Okay, so y'all keep up what y'all doing. That's all I want to say, bro. And hey, follow me. Follow me. I got a lot of information on my page.
Okay.
I don't go back and forth, but I got a lot of information on my page. Follow me, brother.
I got you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Y'all keep up the good work.
You too, brother. Thank you. All right, let's get to WYTTV.
Hey, Afro Elite.
How you doing?
How you doing? Hope everybody's doing good. I was going to do a video about that BAFTA thing. I let the videos keep playing on my background. I never watched it because I was like, I don't want to entertain somebody accidentally saying the N-word, but not accidentally saying other things that rhymes with booish. You know what I mean? But I just want to say, I just want to address, we as Black Americans have been trying to befriend the whole world for a very long time. Because we know who we are. We know this is our home. We want to share to the world our gifts, talents. You know, we want to share our new toys because we know we're the first people. I mean, generally the whole world, not just Black Americans, of course. But I guess some people are noticing that because we love ourselves and we want to share that love. And after sharing that love, we realize, wait, people are disrespecting us. You know, they're taking our toys, they're taking our gifts, and not asking for permission. And now we put boundaries and it's like, oh, now the disrespect comes up. You know, the disrespect was always there, but now it's heightened at a very, a larger level. And I'm glad that we're standing up for ourselves. We used to say, you know, everybody's Black. Anybody that has a bit of melanin, they're Black. But now we draw the line because we're seeing that disrespect. It's like a ruly child that gets away with a lot of stuff, and the parent wants to not be that strict parent and be their friend. Now you're trying to put boundaries and rules in place. Now they're like even times 10 trying to disrespect you. So again, you put that level there to get that respect in the beginning. But anyway, we're learning from it. That BAFTA award thing got me really upset. The man that said, well, if you were offended, why the hell wouldn't I not be offended? It's really crazy to have that non-apology apology. Nobody came to the aid of, Michael B. Jordan and what's his other name? I forgot his name. Delroy Lindo. Nobody came to them and said, I'm sorry that this happened. I didn't say it, but I feel like I did say it, and I wanted to apologize on behalf of that person that had that Tourette's. And people are really defending the Tourette's part more so than defending the fact that you didn't even say it or apologize to the actors. So that really pissed me off. And then to go down to that Haitian lady, she said that was her experience. First of all, that doesn't even make sense. Form a sentence. What do you mean that's your experience? Dirty Black Americans. That doesn't even make any sense. Form a real sentence. What are you trying to say? It was on her chest to say that, for a very long time. And they didn't get mad enough for me in that podcast. I really don't rock with that podcast. I don't like how they allow people from different parts of, diaspora to disrespect us. And then just slide it like, what you mean, and play along with it. Like, nah, I'm not playing with you. Do not come back on my set. You're banned for life. Get the fuck out of here. Like, anyway, that's all I had to say.
We'll appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let me be honest. They do. Yeah, come on. They do got to do better. There's room for growth there. Yes, indeed. That's true. Let's get to Mr. Seth.
Hey, Afro Lee, how y'all doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah. Yes, I'm 100% about a Black United Front, but I do agree that when some of them, yes, our Caribbean brothers and sisters, they are part of the tribe. And I would say that first and foremost. But like I said, some of them do come up with this so-called uppity mentality, uppity attitude, and, and think they're better. And then, especially when they start saying, hey, we do this, we came over here, we pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps. And I had to tell one, not too long ago, if that was, authentic, then every slave and every sharecropper would be rich, be filthy rich. So I said, we've been doing it for centuries. So, just don't be coming here just thinking you better because you were selected to come over here and what that, So, yes, if they're about unity and unifying, fine. But when you come over here and you want to isolate yourselves, when you get your businesses and you want to take, but you don't want to give and you don't want to work and you want to be secluded from people, then that's when it becomes and talked down. That's when it becomes a problem. Just like that girl, that made that statement, filthy black Americans or whatever, that was very ignorant of her to say, and she needs to apologize, and and so forth and so on. And I just land with this because also every time they want to pick a presidential candidate, Obama or VP Harris, they got to be from a different. Yeah, I'm not gonna say a different. They don't have to. They don't come ground root with FBA or Native Black Americans. Ground roots in Americas. They got to have their lineage elsewhere, and and there's a pattern with that. And then when you get called up on it, oh, everything is black. Now, if everything is black, why you don't just stick with the black Americans in America? You know what I'm saying? So why you got to always do that? You're doing some nickel slick stuff doing that. And when you point that out to them, sometimes they get embarrassed and they get, shell shocked. So because, we find out and we crying out loud what they're doing. We've been always knew this, but we now more alert than, ever. And now we're, putting more action into words now, which is good. And I think we're going to only benefit from it. So with all that being said, I land my plane.
All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I mean, they switch up. They on the team when convenient. Now, like Shabuzi, when they get an award and all of that stuff, it's immigrants, and immigrants built this country, and you didn't mention us at all. You didn't even really apologize after that. Okay. But then when they need us, hold on, guys. Now y'all know they all see us as the same. Y'all know when we get pulled over, they don't care if you're Black American, if you're Jamaican, no, y'all been getting away with that, jumping in and out of blackness and jumping in and out, being all like, okay, we're all black. Okay, no, I'm an immigrant. Y'all been doing that for way too long. Okay, and that's it's over with now. We're done with that now. Let's get to Mo.
Yo, what's up, Afro? How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Good. Yeah. So I'm from Liberia, West Africa, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to touch. I might not touch on all of the problems, but I'm touch on first the Haitian lady, right? Called the Black American, quote unquote, dirty Black Americans, right? So I'm on the fence about that, right? Because when I say that, right, because I'll be hearing some of the same rhetoric, right, be coming from FBAs, right, and all this.
One
Let him
moment,
go,
one
BX.
moment. Wait,
Hold
no,
on,
I
BX.
just want to warn you.
BX,
Wait
I
a
know,
minute. Wait, Mo, you don't know what
I
I'm
know
going
you,
to
BX.
say.
Hold on a
I'm
second. I know
talking
you.
to
Okay,
him.
everybody
Just
stop.
brace
Everybody
yourself.
stop. Everybody stop.
Yeah,
BX,
brace
what did you
yourself for
want to warn
him.
him?
He's
All right,
a troll. He
Okay.
is. That's
BX.
all.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you. Mo, go ahead.
My bad. But yeah, it's like, I'll be honest, immigrants, African did do it, right? But the thing is, both sides does it. I've heard FBA be saying a lot of disparaging comments towards Africans, immigrants, right? And different type of rhetoric, right? So for me, so her saying that, and as an immigrant, as an African immigrant, I don't feel any empathy towards Black Americans for what she said, right? Because of some of the rhetoric that Black Americans have said in the past and still saying, right?
Okay.
So I'll put that there. And then on Shibuzi, right, when he said immigrants built this country, right? He later, if he saw his latter post, he did clarify, right, what he meant by that.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I saw it, and I
You
did a
saw his
whole
post?
breakdown on YouTube. Yes, I did. And
Okay.
we did multiple lives on it.
But, and I feel like he could have, clarified that statement a little bit more, because he didn't really give the credit to Black Americans, indigenous Black Americans. And I would say Black Americans deserve a lot of credit for, this country. But also, I will say this, the immigrants did help, right? They didn't build this country, but they did help in a lot of different ways, right? And we can say that while also giving Black Americans credit, right? Because they did play a major role.
When you say immigrants help, and this is something that I find so interesting, because African immigrants like to, when y'all want an accolade, y'all will just blindly say immigrants. Okay. When y'all want an accolade, what did exactly Shabuzi's family is from Nigeria? What did Nigerians do to help build the country? that he can sit up
So
there and
his
on an award give credit to? His what did he do? What did
yeah. So
Nigerians
when
do in
he
particular?
So I believe when he made that statement, right, he was generalizing immigrants like from Caribbeans, Africa, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he was like pinpointing,
See, and
right? What?
that's the thing. That's the thing. Y'all
Mhm.
want to generalize immigrants
Yeah,
because y'all are also immigrants and y'all get to
exactly.
take claim. Hold on, y'all want to take claim to what immigrants have done. And to be very honest with it, if we are to give credit to any type of immigrants, it wouldn't be y'all.
Right.
It wouldn't be
It's,
Nigerians. If you want to give any type of credit to any immigrants after the fact is not building. But if we were, let's be honest about history. If we were, we wouldn't give it to African immigrants. There's a whole long and I'm not trying to give it to credit to nobody because we built the whole thing. There was not a single aspect of this country that we didn't play a part in. If we didn't build it, we played a major factor in that. But if we're going to be honest about who did the least among the immigrants, it would have been y'all. Y'all claim y'all body of work in this country shows the least. If we're
yeah,
going to
if
be honest about that. Now let's go to your first point. You feel indifferent about a woman who's able to seek refuge in a country that her ancestors didn't build. Okay.
yeah.
And you
Mhm.
feel indifferent about that because you feel like you have seen some quote unquote disrespectful things and she has a reason to be disrespectful on a podcast she was invited to, right?
Exactly,
If
exactly.
if hold on, be quiet. If somebody invited you to their house and they told you, hey, when you come to my house, you got to take your shoes off, hang your coat up and everything like that. And you get in the house and you start jumping on the couch. Do you feel like that's justified? Yes or no?
Um, it depends what happened before. It
No.
depends if they were disrespecting me though before I got in.
Okay. So no, if somebody invited you in their house, hold on.
Mhm.
I want y'all to understand this is who we're dealing with. If somebody invited you in their house and you walk in and you with your muddy, dirty shoes on, full of mud and dirt all from outside, and you start jumping on their house, you would find some way to say that's justified. That's justifiable, period, to you?
If the Like I said, it's yes or no. I can just give you
No,
a
it's no,
straight answer, right?
brother. Okay, here
Because let me
is
explain though.
it.
Let me
No,
explain.
no, 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 no. It's either a yes or a no. Why are you making it so difficult?
Okay, I'll say yes. It's disrespectful. It is.
No, I'm not saying it's disrespectful. We know it's
Yeah.
disrespectful. I'm
Mhm.
asking, is it something that's tolerable or excusable at all?
I was.
The fact that I
What
want
have
us
you
to
guys
understand
done?
this, the fact that he is taking
No,
so long to answer this
It's a
question
simple
is
question.
very telling.
A simple
no,
answer.
because
Oh my
you put in
God, you're
your
such a
position, right?
victim.
It's like this, right?
You're such
There
a
has to
victim.
be, there has to be a reasoning beyond them doing that. You get what
No,
I'm
no, no,
saying?
no, 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 no. There is no reasoning. Is it justified or not?
Yes, I would say yes. If you want a straight answer, I would say yes.
You would
It
say
is.
yes.
I
Okay,
would say
that's
yes.
very that's all we needed to know. It's very
And
justified. So this is why this is what we're talking about, and I'm glad that you're able to come up and confirm exactly what we're talking about. You're able to come up and confirm exactly what we're talking about. You all have no sense of dignity, no sense of honesty, no sense of morality or good character whatsoever. Which is why, and when we say that, y'all say, "Oh, this is y'all don't have to go this far." The fact that you sit here and could say that you could be invited in somebody else's home and then disrespect them in their house, and in your mind, it's justifiable.
Right.
That shows a level of incivility. Okay,
Mhm.
that shows a level of savagery. Okay, that shows that mentality is similar to that of a dog.
Oh,
okay, but ask
I'm
me
gonna
a
be
question though.
no. Shut up. No. That's over with. That mentality is damn. I damn near want to say it's not even a human mentality to do that. That's not a characteristic of a grown man. Whether you trolling or not, I honestly believe you're very serious with that. I believe your answer is. I believe you're telling the legit, honest truth of what you see, which shows you feel you owe no respect to anybody for anything. You don't have to pay homage. You don't have to do anything. This is what we're saying. I let you speak and I let him answer the question. And he didn't want to get to that point. He didn't want to. But he's telling the truth. And this is what we do. I want an honest enemy. Okay. So now everybody knows there are certain people under no circumstances that you should be nice to. There are certain people under no circumstances that you can welcome in your house. There are certain people under no circumstances that you can befriend. And you just elaborated that you, and not just yourself, but you and a whole bunch of other people feel the exact same way. Okay. You feel
And
like
why
if
is
you
that
feel,
though?
no,
Like,
no, no.
why is
And
that?
that is, no, that the entitlement and the disrespect is why you feel this way, which is why I'm gonna be honest, nobody's chomping at the bit to get to Liberia, including yourself, which is why people are leaving more than they're going there. People are not going to Liberia to stay. People are being born in Liberia having aspirations of going anywhere else in the world because there are grown men like yourself, if I can call you a man. There are grown men with mentalities like that, the mentalities of a fucking animal. And that's the disrespect during Black History Month that we're dealing with.
That's real. Unfortunately, savagery is real.
I ain't never heard Afro just cuss like that, y'all. I said, oh, you know, when you get started, oh. But he
Yeah,
deserved that Afro. He really did.
Yeah,
it
It's
was.
just some
he had that
people,
coming.
yeah,
Yeah, he knew what he
yeah.
was doing. Because that was just an easy answer. He knew what he was doing.
Let's get to my brother Black Vanguard. You got it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for spitting that fire, Afro Elite, ZZ and BX. Shout out everybody in space. Well, Black American disrespect doing Black History Month. Well, that's not surprising. We already know these tethers have been disrespectful towards our people for a very, very long time. Now, out here in California, we have a new bill that we just passed. So out here, we working with a Republican, a white Republican. See, these Democrats, they real scared of mad because California about to flip red or purple. You got two Republican governor candidate nominees that's in the front run. There's no Democrat front runners in the state of California. So you about to see the first Republican governor since 2006. The Democratic Party out here in California, they're very scared and nervous out here because they know once Republican become the governor of California, that means a sanctuary state. By the end, that means these Black Democrats and these boule class, they're going to be in trouble out here in California. We got a new bill that we passed. It's called, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the bill that we working on, the lawmakers. It's called AB 2723. It's actually a bill. It's supposed to establish a Freedmen Agency, though. That means if you're in the state of California, that means we got to verify your lineage. That means we got a certified genealogist in the state of California that's certified as Foundation Black America, that's licensed in the country, was well known. So that means that in order to get any reparation, any lineage-based tangibles and benefits, you gotta be a descendant of Freeman, a descendant of Foundation Black American. So we getting that push right now. It's called AB 2723. We actually have Republican to co-sign that bill, and the Democrat Party, they mad because we work with Republicans to get some of our demands met, just like we had one the California Legislative Black Caucus members sign off that SB 515 bill, which is another delineation that segregation bill would come on the workforce. So we actually getting a delineation done in real life out here in California. Shout out to BX and Sister Brooke out there in New York for making it happen out there. And also we have Sister Camilla Moore. She actually went to the rep of New York Race Task Force. Actually seen the videos online is that you had this Jamaican woman that's part of the Harriet Tubman Foundation out there in New York, which is highly disrespectful, trying to advocate for foreigners and immigrants. And also, I seen this video with Yvette Clark. She actually was had a CNN post. CNN is one of the most Democrat liberal news stations in the country. They did a post that 76% of Foundation Black Americans agreed with the SAVE Act. And Yvette Clark, by her being a first generation Jamaican descent, she actually saying that I don't care. Well, you said, well, 76% of Black Americans, and this is CNN, agree with the SAVE Act. So we got to get these foreigners about the way because these foreigners have been disrespectful towards our people, especially melanin foreigners. They're the most dangerous though because they can infiltrate our politics. Just like I can't go over there to Jamaica and try to tell them people what they should not be getting while I'm in their country. That's totally disrespectful. Like Mo, he's Liberian. And people like to bring up the America Liberian. That's also a pathway for them to scapegoat into our lineage. I guarantee he might say he's a miracle Liberian as a way to Trojan horse his way to our lineage, though, but that's not failing. Also, we the ones that made Liberia pop when we was running Liberia, but you had them tribal groups over there actually waged WAR against the American Liberians because they were jealous because we was coming up off of them, the ones that few of us that did went over there. And the ones that did stay over there, they had on ethnogenesis, so they hold complete ethnic groups like the Nova Scotians up there in Canada. We complete two ethnic groups. That's why they can't backdoor the way up to our lineage. And also, you have these Democratic shields, DNC shields, like saying we're African American. These are Democratic shields that kind of stuff is coming out. So, because I remember like 7 years ago, 8 years, these people want to talk about African American till we started delineating. For y'all, people understand that's nothing but the DNC Democratic Shield talking point they get from DNC think tanks, where they're saying that I'm not, nobody know who Foundation Black American is. We're African American. African American was the term that got coined and popularized by Jesse Jackson in 1988 by the DNC of the Democratic Party. Wherever you see that, these people are getting paid by the DNC. And also is that we expose out here in California, you had Assembly Member Isaac Bryan. He actually donated $30,000 of campaign contribution to the Shade Room. This actually an article out here in California came out. The Shade Room actually was sponsoring some of these candidates though to push their rhetoric, their agenda though, called Shade Room. They actually got a campaign firm where they market these Democratic shields, and the Shade Room is owned by a Nigerian woman. So you got the DNC think tanks like the Shade Room, the Good Influence app with Conscious Fleet is part of that. Dante Kyle, the number of Democratic shields paid by the Good Influence app and Shade Room. So I'm glad we're exposing this though. That's why DNC shields, the Boulay class is mad because they lost the narrative. We actually got to say so of the Black grassroots. Nobody listening to CNN. Abby Phillips, that Trent Daniel woman that CNN post handlers, actually, it's actually, I forgot this Fox News commentator. She said that her ratings were low. CNN is like on the 400,000. So these DNC shields and tethers, they were on mad because they knocked the frame narrative. Now this Haitian woman, now I was on the panel with a whole bunch of Haitian people. They were talking disrespectful about Foundation Black Americans. I checked them. I said, ma'am, we can't take no constructive criticism from no Haitian. You come from one of the most poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. And it's so bad over there. Y'all wouldn't fight, waste all your resources, stay in the country. How come you can't take all that wealth and resource you obtain over the years of America and go back and fixing your country, Haiti? Because Haiti is in a dire situation right now. Over 340,000 of your people are about to lose temporary protect status, though that's about to come to an end. Right now, the Appellate Circuit Court just blocked in a temporary protect status for 340,000 Haitians, and Trump gonna take that Supreme Court. When Trump take that Supreme Court, he gonna end temporary protect status for 340,000 Haitians, and them Haitians they actually fleeing up their cannabis. I got a couple people that's out there in Canada right now. A lot of them Haitians fleeing, and they actually wanted to get cold. Them Haitians unaliving themselves just to flee across the border to Canada, to Montreal. That's how sad it is, though. And then I saw them that they talk about unalivings and stuff in Black America, saying that we how here decreasing the gang violence. Though you go to these major black cities, the crime rate has been down because they been getting a lot of these tethers about you. Because you go to places like Florida and New York, these foreigners in these major cities, especially out here in LA, you got a huge Belizean population. You go to New York, you got a huge tether population. You go to places like DC area, DMV area, especially Maryland, got a huge Nigerian and Jamaican population in the PG County area and Baltimore area. So ever since they've been deported again, a lot of these terrorists about here, the crime rate has been going down in Foundation Black American Society. They said the crime rate has been down in record-breaking numbers since the 1960s, since they've been deported again, a lot of these terrorists about here. And I'm glad too, because we actually have gang intervention programs where we decrease the violence in our community. Now the gang violence in Haiti, it has gotten worse since barbecue took power over Haiti. Over 8,100 unalivings happened in Haiti last year, just 2025 alone. And that's just only that one island in Jamaica. And that's how bad. I got more I got to say, though, but I'll allow other people to speak.
Damn, that's a lot, man. That's a lot going on, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to California, okay? For all of that, man. Y'all, all that FBA, all that stuff, that's only online and nobody's doing that in real life. Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's not what California is saying. That's not what New York is saying.
Right.
All right, let's get to Alicia.
Hey y'all, that's not what we saying in Georgia either. It's FBAs for sure down here in Georgia. Um, when I clicked, I had got back off because I really got on to answer that other guy that said he didn't think it was disrespectful to come in somebody's house and be that way and things like that. It's crazy to me how they get mad at us because we want to separate ourselves from them. But then it's like, to defend the young lady, he said they've heard us call them that or whatever. If we have called y'all names, that's because y'all don't behave like us. Y'all are nothing like us. People so upset that they are nothing like us. And to me, I'm starting to like just feel like they want the attachment because they want the accolades. They want to be known. They want to be FBA so bad, to the point where they just like, okay, well, at least we connected to them through slavery. Like, you're not. I'm actually 36. I was born 1989. I was raised in rural Georgia. So like I have recordings of my grandmother telling us stories of how things were in the 50s. She was born in the 40s. So telling us how things were in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, things like that. Even though, and I brought that up to say, like, they try to defend their rhetoric by saying like what we are stating are not in the books that they are obtaining wherever they're getting their information from. Because a lot of times when they speak, they sound ill-informed and they just spew out whatever colonizers have taught them or whatever in that aspect. They don't do their real research as far as like in regards to the foundation of Black Americans. But I really wanted to respond to him, but I think he jumped off. Did he jump off when we got? I think he jumped off when you got
I
off.
kicked him off.
Oh, you kicked him off. Yeah, like how dare you sit like. It's like, oh, well, she's called y'all dirty Black Americans because y'all call us dirty Black Haitians. Baby, y'all are dirty Black Haitians. Like, who even thinks like that? To even have that type of mentality, like you said, that's dehumanizing. It's not even a human thought to think you can go in somebody's house and disrespect them or their yard or just come in somebody else's vicinity and disrespect them. I didn't have much else to say. I'm going to just land right there because this is an argument that I've been arguing every day on different platforms as far as like against them because at this point I'm just sick of it. I'm from South Georgia, right by the Florida line, so like I didn't grow up in the area of Miami where those Haitians are there, but right there in Tallahassee, Florida, they be in the club with their flag. They'll take a whole section up in the club with their flag and all that stuff. So I grew up never ever hearing no Haitian talking about no being connected to Black Americans. It's like they always been on their own thing. Everybody that's an immigrant always claimed to be their own thing. But now that we're trying to solidify ourselves for our own reasoning, for our own issues that we have going on in our own homeland, they have an issue. I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. Talking mess, talking trash online, that's something that people have always been doing ever since social media has existed. Okay. People have always been dissing somebody, talking about somebody online. That's always been a thing. It's probably always going to be a thing. But to say that because you feel disrespected, not attacked or anything like that, because you feel disrespected, it warrants you going in somebody's home and disrespecting their home. And I want us to understand, he was not joking because it took him a minute to say that. He wasn't joking and saying, I had to really interrogate that out of him. The fact that he feels this way, this is more than just, I'm just saying something online. This is really how they behave. This is really how they feel. So now when you want to talk about y'all started it, look at how y'all act. Because if I ask any foundational Black American that question I asked him, they would say absolutely not. It wouldn't take them no long time to get to the answer. They wouldn't say, well, it depends on the circumstance. They would say it is absolutely unacceptable to disrespect anybody if they invited you in their home, no matter what. That's what they would say. But according to him, and not just him, the tether class, all of them think that way. According to them, it is acceptable if they feel like it. They honestly feel like they can do whatever they feel like doing for whatever reason. They honestly do feel like that. And now we're just going to have to show them consequences. That's all I'm saying.
And to her point too, because she said that they try so hard to be Black Americans. You know, not only do they try to be Black Americans, they tether to us, but honestly, these people tend to. It's like they're almost like chameleons. They can tether themselves to any position necessary, to get them to the point they want to be. So whether that's tether themselves or transforming themselves into a Muslim. Now they're identifying strictly with their Muslim, and now it's Muslim support Mandami. Or you want to come over to the immigrants. Oh well, you want to become a generic immigrant. Now, immigrants built America, even though when we bring up Nigeria specifically or your home country, you can't talk about specifically you contributed to this country. And so it continues. Or, again, being a tether to Black Americans when they can get into political spaces. Oh well, we all deserve reparations. Or let's put funding towards this African program that's going to help, immigrants come over here. So whatever position is going to get them the most for themselves is what they'll transform into. It's really egregious, honestly.
Hey, and I'm sorry, one thing in addition, the statement saying that like they try to make the statement of how they contributed to America, and like they have, out of all the immigrants, they are the least. Like you got whole Jewish people. We're just gonna put the Jewish people in the front, the Jewish whatever, with that situation there. Like y'all wanna, when they say immigrants, y'all not part of that class that contributed to the building of America. Y'all just taking the benefits of it, and then y'all want to be against us when y'all supposed to be our kin people.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like I said, when they want accolades, they want to say immigrants. I'm like, okay, well, let's narrow that down. Because at that point, you stealing stolen valor. And first off, we built every part of it. There was not an aspect of this country that foundational Black Americans didn't first off start and do completely by ourselves, or was a major factor in. Not anything. I mean, look at all the inventions we got and renovations we have. But if you want to say, well, Chinese came over and they assisted in the railroad expansion. Okay. But can a Nigerian take the credit for some things Chinese people did? No.
Yeah.
If you want to say Italians or Irish people, they worked in factories and stuff like that. Okay. You can't give that to Kenya. You can't just lump them all in and say we can all share the credit. Look at how desperate they are. They're sharing the credit with us. They're sharing the credit with immigrants because they don't have anything. I'm like, what did y'all contribute? Even among the immigrants. You should have a whole bunch of immigrants shutting that down. Like, no, you ain't going to be able to steal my ancestors' work. They didn't put no work in to deserve any credit. Okay? And if you did, tell it. I give you credit where credit is due. You just don't have any. Let's get to my brother Denzimus.
Hey, Afro. Hope y'all are doing good today.
Yeah, we doing pretty good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. So I just wanted to say, how do these tethers need to understand. I was gonna say that you are a merciful person until you curse that guy out, but right now these tethers need to understand they're dealing with the nice FBAs for now. They need to understand that in the future, as time goes on, if they keep engaging in this fuckery, they're gonna start dealing with the halos more and more. So they need to get their shit together, because it's only a matter of time before we get, like, all of us just get tired of their bullshit. Like, you can't keep doing the same stupid shit over and over again. You know how I don't know if you've had kids in here, but you tell your kid to do something and it's like, all right, I get it, you're a kid, you got to learn. But at some point, when your kid keeps doing dumb stuff, you're like, all right, you're just gonna have to learn on your own the hard way. And we know how these white supremacists are on a war path, trying to just get everybody up out the paint. So, maybe hopefully they'll learn their lesson in the future, but I doubt it. Like, the fact that man had the nerve to say that he can come into our nation and disrespect us, I'm pretty sure in person most people would have popped him in his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but they can get away with this stuff because they're online. So we're not gonna let that happen, no. But yeah, that's it for now.
Real talk. Yes, indeed. That's true. Appreciate that. Let's get to Uncle Steezy.
What's good, Afro?
Doing?
Thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to speak on this panel. I admire your work, and I think that you're doing phenomenal things. You, ZZBX, all of us. Keep it moving, because we got your back. As far as the prompt goes, the disrespect, during Black History Month, it's evident. It's extremely obvious. Apparently, a lot of these people feel like they have this desire to replace us. And I think had the Democratic Party, now I don't care for either party, but I think had the Democratic Party had their agenda fulfilled, we probably would have been replaced. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you know what I'm saying, I really admire what you've been doing. I back you up 100%. It was amazing to hear you cuss at somebody. I that was out of character, but apparently they brought the noise and you brought it back. But all due respect, my brother, I'm gonna land on that, and you can let me down if you need to let somebody else up.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, he had it coming. He had it coming. He needed that. He deserved it. He had that coming. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support. Now, Blitz, we had some interesting conversations. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
So first, is this problem about the guy who called, or the person who called somebody a dirty Black American, or this a whole nother?
Well, no, what we're talking about is the entirety of Black History Month. So the amount of disrespect foundational Black Americans have been receiving from everybody. I brought up this prompt is full of a bunch of different situations. Now, there's situations that I can name that's not on the prompt if you want to bring that up. But I'm just talking, I brought up so many prompts, so many things that you can instantly recognize when you see it. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, me personally, I try to tell people, like, I don't see why, like, people try to make it seem like just Africans are so for Black Americans specifically, because I mean, they have slurs and all these type of things. So I just think it's a little bit delusional to make it seem like these things don't exist. Now, I just think in certain situations, I just think certain things don't have to be said. I think respect should be given. I mean, if you're just coming to the country, don't just go off of negative connotations that have been placed in the air about Black Americans. I mean, that's just for every person. I think you should get your own idea of a people. And I think, like I said before, respect should just be the natural thing if you want respect to be given to you. So I don't have any, like I said before, I don't have any issue with anybody or anybody doing what they do. I just think when people just say things that are based in just, I would say, idiocy, that's what I have an issue with. So the immigrant, African, anybody, I just don't see the what's the benefit that comes out of that. Now, if it's a immigrant who's being respectful and just wanting to be their own, I have no issue with that. Me personally, I don't think anybody has to cater to a specific group of people or a person. If you want to be for your own people or your ethnic group, there's nothing wrong with that. Same with, so I'm not the guy who says automatically cater to or be Black American. That's what you are, but don't try to use it as an aesthetic, as a point of just an argument for you to say that you're just Black American if you're not. I mean, just be who you are. So I mean, that's just my point on it all.
Yeah, don't lie. Yeah. Don't lie about it or whatever. Be honest. And the reason why they do lie is because there's a few reasons in certain circumstances, but overall, the reason why they do lie is because of the fact that they can get away with certain things by being a Black American, such as having conversations that technically they have no business in. For instance, reparations and other things like that. You know. Now, when you say cater to, I just want a little bit of clarification. I think I know what you mean, but I want a little bit of clarification on what you say they shouldn't have to cater. What do you mean exactly by that?
What I mean by that is, like, because people, like, I mean, a lot of people say, like, people should come assimilate or things of that nature. I feel like if a person just coming and they want to just be, I mean, around who they see as their people, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not going to force you to, like I said before, try to assimilate to something that you don't have to. So, I mean, if you want to be for your people, there's nothing wrong with that. The same for anybody. Just be for who you feel is your people. But don't, like I said before, don't come and base your opinions on people off of negative connotations. Like I said before, because the African to tell you to go back to the CRACK house, the white man owns you. So they'll say all these things when all the way from Africa. And it's like, bro, I mean, I thought you saw us both as black. So why are you saying the same things that white people say? So, I mean, I feel like he just certain things that are just crazy when it comes to just how people see Black Americans from other countries. I think it's based off of a lot of stereotypes and just the common Eurocentric narratives.
All right, cool. All right then. Well, everybody on the panel has spoken, so I guess we can have open panel now. Everybody can, we don't have to take turns anymore. Everybody can address anything if anybody has anything they like to add, whether that's addressing a speaker or anything like that. But I
I
do
was
want to
going to
ask
ask a
this question.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
The Adonis situation. I just want somebody to answer this. Why in the hell do white people have this thing where they want to I don't know, the SPIT on people? Like, I don't know why they always do this shit. Like, I really don't know. Like, is it just like, I'm sorry.
They're used to the Jim Crow era. They think it's the same. They think they can just get away with it. But I mean, that's what they used to do though. So I mean, they kind of passed it down to now where they think they can do it with no consequences. And that's just the what they feel should be normality. They think they should be able to spit on people and get away with it. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I
Okay.
like to say that to the last thing that was said before the panel was open, I don't think Black Americans ever had a problem with nobody being themselves or represent themselves. I think I don't think we ever bothered nobody about saying, "Oh, I'm a Haitian American" or "I'm Haitian" or nothing like that. I don't think we ever cared enough to about that. I don't think we ever cared about them dressing like us or nothing like that. It's the thing that like y'all have an opinion about us, but y'all have the generations and generations of y'all that have been here. Y'all done taught y'all kids to stay away from us and stuff. Have you ever been to a grandmama house on a Sunday where everybody there is a family eating and all that? Like, although Black people go through our own things in this country, which we all know due to systematic slavery is why we're in the predicaments that we're in. Black people love Black people in this country. We love on each other in this country. And if you were around us, you would know that. And you wouldn't have that opinion. So in my opinion, I think that they have that opinion because they're never even really in our environments for real. They just on the outside copying. That's it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
my point about that was about when I said that. Firstly, I don't think what you're saying. You're assuming a little bit because my grandma, one of my grandmas is Haitian, and she had no issue with Black Americans. So I just think like that's part of the problem. We assume a lot based off of what we I would say see or have observed on social media or real life. My point behind that was because I was on the panel, I was hearing
That's not really an assumption though if you observed it in real
As
life.
but I'm saying you can't about a whole group of people. It is an assumption.
I
Not
think that
really,
I'm not
not really
making
if
an
you're just
assumption
saying it
about them
open.
at
If
all.
there's a pattern, that's just recognizing a
I said
I'm
pattern.
if,
speaking on the topic. I'm not make
but
I didn't grow up around Haitians. So me personally, I have nothing to say about no damn Haitian.
so it's an assumption. So my
So
point
I,
was
It's not an
but she
assumption.
didn't.
It's
Hold
based
on.
I didn't
on an
assume
Hold
nothing.
observation.
on,
It's
no. But
valid.
she
It's
didn't
very true,
say
actually.
Haitians in particular.
no, but
I
I'm just saying
didn't. I
people. I'm
said
just saying.
anybody.
She
But
said
I'm just saying.
immigrants, and you said
General.
Haitians.
Well, I
Exactly.
could have sworn, but she brought up
I
something.
bet you could
No,
have
no.
sworn. I
See,
bet you could
Because
have
you did
sworn.
know you had a
this is
Haitian
the thing
grandmother to
too.
yourself.
Anytime somebody says anything about an immigrant, immigrants automatically
Not
have this thing of y'all got to
Exactly.
protect immigrants in general.
hold up, bro.
He
This is not.
said
Hold up.
immigrants, or
Let's
she
just be
said
real.
we love.
Let's be real right
Hold
there.
on, Blitz. No, because she said we love on black people. We don't mind people
Did
being
she not say the
themselves. We
word
don't
Haitian?
mind people being this. And then you all like you felt offended as a
I can
Haitian
feel
as if
offended.
she was coming for
Exactly.
Haitians, and she
No,
didn't even
bro,
specify
this is
Haitians.
why I'm saying
Exactly, because
we at least
what
got
I'm
to be
saying is
honest
that
right
as
there,
a Black
bro.
American, we
We
don't
got
care
to be
if y'all
honest.
copy. It doesn't matter if y'all copy us or not,
Did you
because we're
not say the
still
word
gonna be
Haitian,
ourselves. And that's in reference to anybody. We do
bro?
not
Okay.
care what
Let's be
nobody is
honest though.
doing.
Let's
We
be
don't care
honest
what
right there.
nobody is doing. But as soon as we separate ourselves, everybody has a problem.
Well,
As soon as somebody speak against what they do know about Haitians being in their differences between Black Americans and Haitians, now y'all want to act like we picking at y'all.
no,
But
bro. This is what I'm saying.
we don't go to y'all country and say
So look,
nothing
me
about y'all. We don't
personally,
go to
bro.
y'all
In
country and
addition
hang
to
out
that,
Me
and build
personally,
things and try to
me
come up in y'all
personally.
in,
country.
I
So
don't do
in
all the
addition,
games, all the back and forth,
in
all this like,
addition,
bro. I'm saying, can I respond to what she's saying or what? Or like,
And
Go
let me
ahead.
respond right quick,
What
brother.
is your
yeah.
response to
Also,
what she
like
has to say?
all I'm trying to say is, so I don't do all the games, all the little back and forth. Like, oh, you're so me personally. I I could have sworn I heard you say Haitian like 2 or 3 times. I was just trying to give you a positive example, and I was just saying it's not beneficial to, like I said, make anecdotal assumptions about an entire group of people. Like, so the point I was getting at by saying the assimilation thing is because I was on a panel with a guy. He was tripping about a Haitian dude only hiring Haitians. Like I said before, it's nothing wrong with that. If a person wants to put on their people, long as you're not purposely discriminating against another group of people. But at the end of the day, nobody should have an issue with a
I didn't
guy.
connect
But
this
I'm saying though, are
foundation
you gonna
about
let me finish what I'm
Americans.
saying,
Oh,
bro?
let him finish. Let him finish. I mean,
So
by definition, that is discriminating. But
at
let
the
him
end,
Yeah,
finish.
you're
right.
right. So
Especially because these businesses be in
even
black
at the
neighborhoods.
end
But
of the
go ahead.
day, I don't think nobody should have an issue with a person putting their people on. So that's what I was talking about when it comes to like assimilation and catering to other people. You don't have an issue with anybody who's another ethnic group putting on their people. So I don't think that should be an issue at all. So when it comes to that, I just try to give positive examples. So firstly, I mean, I don't get why people assume that I'm a tether. First of all, tether is an immigrant. I'm not an immigrant. My grandma
Okay.
isn't.
Did
Your
anybody on the
hat
panel?
tether.
Nobody
That's
First of
what
all,
said
tether
you were an
sounded
did
like. You
immigrant.
anybody
sound
even
like you
say
had
that
No,
word?
I
tether.
mean, this is what I'm saying right here. Just because I don't, this is the problem right here. You people, guys, want people to
You
think
keep
like
saying you
you.
people.
Yeah.
What
What
the
is
hell
up
is
with
up with
that,
Listen,
that?
man?
I'm saying you people because the people on this panel, you think that a person has to think exactly like you, and
Yeah,
if they
that ain't
don't, they're
it.
a tether. I don't
Well,
have to think like
can
you.
I just
Nobody,
ask
I
one
don't have
question
to
real
nobody
agree
quick?
with
on
you.
the panel. First off, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're getting very offended for no reason. You got
Very.
offended by what Alicia said. There was no
I'm not
need to get offended
offended.
by what she said. You're getting offended. Nobody on the panel has called you a tether. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. When I asked you, this is why I asked you, what do you mean by catering to? When you said, I don't think anybody should have to cater to. And then you said, oh, I feel like that means dress or act like or not be
I didn't
themselves.
say that.
And what she was saying is that, oh, no, we don't have a problem with you not being yourself. Now, what you're saying is there shouldn't be a problem of you guys doing for self and quote unquote putting your people on and
Right.
discriminating against other people as far as employment and other things like that.
exactly.
That's a different
So
thing than wearing your own ethnic clothing or speaking your language or anything like that. Those are two different things. Now, if you're talking about we shouldn't be upset that you are coming in and setting up businesses in black neighborhoods and then making sure that you only hire your own people, that's a different thing.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like the dude just simply hiring, but it just happens that he hires majority Haitians. I
No,
mean,
no,
there's
you
nothing wrong
didn't.
with
You
that.
said he's deliberately hiring them
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
He
didn't
said
say
and
put
not
that.
his
I didn't
own
hiring
say.
other
people
I
people.
said
on.
And
unless,
we
He
bro.
said
shouldn't
put
you
your
we
own people
shouldn't
on.
Once again,
don't
right?
okay,
What you're
don't do that
doing,
because now you're walking back what you
no,
said.
because look,
You said that
deliberately
he's
hiring them is
hiring
not.
his own people and not hiring other people.
I didn't say
People
not,
shouldn't have
bro.
an issue
Once
with that.
again, what you're doing is no issue with that because once again, if a person has their own business, he's a manager and he's in control of that. As long as he's not excluding other people, he can hire as many of his people as he wants. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if
Isn't that
you can call it
discrimination?
you can
Hold
Yep,
call
like
it
that's
Hey,
hold
what
on,
can
that
I
hold on,
is.
hold
ask
on.
It is.
Afro a
You're
You can
walking.
question?
call it
Can I
look,
ask
bro,
Afro a
bro,
One
you
moment,
question?
guys
little
don't let
child.
people
One
finish
moment. No,
talking. This
no,
is why
no,
these
no, no,
conversations.
no. Because here's the issue. Since you wanted to go there, and I was happy you went there too, but I decided to let it play out. Sometimes I could do that. So your borderline of saying discrimination is okay, but let me say this to you: people migrating here and then getting into positions, right? Like Yvette Clark. You know, I got to bring her up. A whole Jamaican is the head of the CBC, the co-chair of the Caribbean Caucus, and I believe the co-chair of the Haitian Caucus. She might be the chair, actually. And she has successfully gotten Caribbeans and Haitians funding, right? She's gotten specific tangibles just for the Haitian and Caribbean community. The issue is when, because y'all know y'all Haitian and Caribbean, right? The issue is then when you want to operate off of flat blackness, when Black Americans say, listen, we need a delineation bill similar to what Yvette Clarke got the Caribbean. It's called the Caribbean Count Bill. Go look it up. So she exerts her lineage when necessary for tangibles, and she only gets performative things for foundational Black Americans. The Crown Act does not only protect Black Americans, right? It protects the Jamaicans, it protects the Trinidadians, whoever has a certain texture here and wears like dreadlocks, locks, let me say locks, and stuff like that. So anything that a Black American get is shared with all of the diasporans, the Asians, the Latinos, even the white teen women are benefiting things specific set aside for Black Americans. However, Black Americans aren't benefiting from the things that Yvette Clarke authors for her people, the Caribbeans, and she has taken the Haitians under her wings. That is what we're talking about, sir. We're talking systemic harm. That's systemic harm, and it's willful.
So
And that's what we're talking about. And you assume that we're upset that a man puts a business
That's not what I'm
in
saying.
our community and only hires his people.
Once
I
again,
would say that's a family business if they're all related. That's fine. But it's discrimination now at this point, and the government is enacting benign neglect upon foundational Black Americans, and then y'all get upset and label us HATE field. Meanwhile, we giving this chick here a whole platform. We make y'all pop. We make Haitians pop, Jamaicans pop, all these people pop. We got the power to cancel Axe Tyler and Burna Boy. But we're so selfless until you disrespect us. It's too much disrespect. What's your name,
bro,
Blitz? It's too
once
much. I'm
again,
not a bro. I'm not a bro.
I'm not referencing you direct. I'm just saying as to introduce my point. So
You don't
my
have a
point
point.
wasn't saying
Your
that
point is
you
null and
guys.
void when your
So
own people, right? Your
cool.
own people are in that government running
I
amok and
don't.
locking us out of industries and writing bills for their own people,
So
not writing bills
I'm gonna say
or
this right quick.
co-sponsoring bills for foundational Black Americans. And this
So
is why I was
let me
telling
just
people
give you the
earlier, we
premise.
need to stop platforming Haitians, especially because they're trying to get you visas, where if they feel they were targeted in this land, they get to stay here. That was a part of their stay. If y'all didn't go read it, they're labeling it something like go read what they're really trying to do. I wouldn't visit a Haitian platform. I wouldn't visit a Caribbean platform. I won't even visit an African platform because I want them going. So all they're going to get is my silence unless they come into my domain, right? And then it's on. But
So
y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all are lying on us, right? While y'all are the root cause of the erosion of whatever allyship we could have had. We
the
don't owe y'all
problem,
nothing. Y'all lucky we being nice.
And
the
BX,
problem
and
with these type
BX,
of
why
panels
they
is you
get
guys
mad
don't
when
have
he just
conversation.
sat here and said it's okay for them to put each other on, just like we having this conversation right
That's the
now.
thing.
Black people might not have the resources where we could just throw up businesses and just hire only us, because we all know our story in this country. We know our struggle in this country. But we having a moment right now where we putting each other on, even if it's just a conversation. Why y'all got to come in here with the negative energy? That's
So
with
look, this
everything
is
on
how my
every level. When we try to come together, y'all got a problem.
bro.
But if we out here killing each other in the street and all that, y'all fine
You
with
gotta
it.
code your words,
See, look,
mama.
this
Gotta
thing right
kind of
here.
code your
You're
Oh,
words.
saying
sorry,
that you're
But
not
sorry.
one moment,
seeing
one
me as
moment.
an
After
immigrant,
Lee,
but
if
you
you know,
keep.
one moment, if you notice, nobody is in the chat. He said he has some proof for you. And I'm gonna go on mute. I just want to say that I was listening to you. I've been mighty quiet. But when you start talking about there's nothing wrong if they all high, it's discrimination. And if you
Nobody's.
come to
I
New
don't see
York, if you're
nobody in the
not in New
chat.
York, nobody request that, please. If you come to New York, you find Black American establishments, the Caribbeans working there. Go to the Caribbean restaurants. You're not only going to be met with no Black Americans, you're going to be met with a damn attitude too.
So obviously the main point of it all, which is nothing wrong with them putting their people on. I mean, so the blooper may have been discrimination, but the point is,
Well, Black Americans
the,
put the whole world on, and what
so
has the
okay,
whole
but
Okay.
world
why are
done for
you
us?
so
Look, and
angry?
here's the
Why are you
thing:
so
if you
mad
want to
every
put your
convo?
I
if
ain't
you want to
mad,
put
but
your
see,
people
see, see,
on,
see, yeah, they do
hold
that.
on.
Afro, do
Because
I
it's so
sound mad?
dumb,
If
No,
I
bro.
was mad, I
hold.
would have
Okay,
brought, because
okay.
I don't believe in talking to brick walls. If I
Okay.
was mad, I would have dropped you. I ain't dropped
Okay.
nobody yet. I ain't mad. I'm passionate. And that's the problem. Stop tone policing black American women, because I could go
Who is
outside and
tone
find five
policing?
Yes.
foreigners,
You
five
keep
foreign
yelling
women
at the
talking just as
phone.
loud as me. Just
Okay.
not
Bro,
loud.
firstly, you interrupted me in the middle of
I'm not
talking.
talking to you, Blitz.
It,
Shut up.
all right.
Like every time this happens. So I just want to say this right quick. So it doesn't matter how you see it. So I know for a fact I'm Black American. So I mean, look, just because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and I'm not going to, like I said before, I don't talk to make you feel good. I don't talk to appeal to people's emotions. I'm a realist, and that's just what it
You
is.
are
So
real stupid.
at
Now,
the
let
end of
me
the
ask
day,
you this question.
so
Let
I'm
me
just
ask you this
keeping it
question.
real.
Hold on. Let
So
me ask you
keeping it
this.
real
It's
is
very
something you don't
important. Hold
like,
on.
then
Stop.
I mean,
Blitz. Let me stop you. Let me ask you this.
I feel it.
When you said cater to, what you really meant, and tell the truth, what you really meant is ally with,
Yeah.
is assist. That's really what you meant when we say y'all should come over and be of assistance to the black community. What you really mean by saying we shouldn't have to cater to you guys is that means we shouldn't have to help you guys. We
Right.
shouldn't have to hire you guys. We shouldn't have to do anything for you guys. We shouldn't have to aid you guys or benefit you guys in any way. That's really what you
So
meant. You
Afro,
no, because you followed up. Because that's why I was all like, what do you mean by cater to? Because nobody's asking y'all to get over here and kiss our feet and,
Right.
walk like a dog. We're not asking to be propped up like kings and queens. So what do you mean by cater to?
so
You've just expressed honestly what you mean. As you just said, oh, I feel like they should be able to have a business and they shouldn't have to hire y'all. They should be able to put their people on and that should be fine. That's exactly what you meant when you said cater to. When you feel as if a Haitian immigrant or any immigrants at all doing anything beneficial to the black community is catering to.
no.
You
So
feel
look,
like that is catering to,
no, you're
despite the
straw
fact that
manning me.
y'all wouldn't have any. Hold on.
Don't
Despite the
straw
fact
man the
that y'all
point.
wouldn't have any businesses over here at all,
You're
if we
straw
did
manning.
not cater to you all.
But you're straw
Right.
If we
manning.
did not cater to you all, there's not even a high enough percentage of you all to patronize your own businesses and for it to be successful. Your businesses would fall within the last 2 years, with the next 2 years or so, if we did not cater to you all. But you feel as if any type of assistance or any type of mutual respect, it's not even assistance, mutual respect and courtesy is catering. That's
Afro.
what you feel
No.
because
So I
that's what you
mean,
expressed.
if you're gonna speak for me and not let me actually say what I'm
That's what
saying,
you
then it's cool.
expressed.
But me personally, what I was getting at is there's no obligation for anybody to do the thing that you're saying. So I'm not saying that these people don't have to or they shouldn't. I'm saying there's no obligation. So once again, don't expect anything from a person because nobody owes you
No, no,
anything.
no.
And
You
I'm
didn't say
speaking.
no. Stop. You didn't say that. You said they shouldn't have to. Not there's no obligation. You said they
Yeah,
shouldn't
shouldn't
have
have
to,
to
and
means no
if they don't,
obligation.
I'm quoting what you said.
Shouldn't have
And
to
if
means
they
what?
don't, nobody should be upset by that.
So what does shouldn't
And you
have to mean?
framed it. Hold on. You
You got to slow
specifically
down.
used the word stop. You specifically used the
I'm
word catering to, because when people hear that word, the image of catering to means being like a helpmate.
Right.
Okay.
no,
Being
it
on
doesn't.
hand and foot. That's what you used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you were saying that nobody should be catering to anybody else, which of course we're going to agree with. But what you mean by catering to is of being of any assistance or helping or benefiting, being beneficial to in any way. That's what you really meant.
Yeah, it's no obligation to look. I don't know why you keep
Let
look.
me ask you a
Your
question. Okay, to
problem is
summer
you
it up,
keep trying to
to
put words.
clear
All
you
right,
up, let me ask you a question. Hold on, very important. Do immigrants, okay, do Haitians specifically, do they have some moral obligation when they come to America to benefit black Americans and to help black Americans in their community, if they're gonna be in their community? Yes or no?
if they're gonna be in their community, do they have a
If you're
moral
gonna be in a
obligation?
black community, because the white folk ain't letting you in a white community.
Mm.
So if you're gonna be in a black community, because that's where you are gonna be, Asians ain't letting you in theirs.
Ooh,
I
You're
don't
not in
gee.
believe in
a
black.
Hispanic community. You might be in your small little enclave, but I'm asking, do you have, do you feel like immigrants, Haitians in particular, have some type of obligation to do things beneficial to the for the community.
So we're saying listen what I'm saying, right? If you're saying for the community as a whole, which includes everybody, then of course. But if you're saying for specific people, then no. But if it's to benefit the whole community, because there's no such thing as black communities or white communities. All that stuff is
There's no such
Sir, come
thing.
on now.
There's no
What?
such
that
thing
So
is
as
they're
black.
like
come
taking
on.
my
Oh,
whole
let him talk.
community.
Let him talk. Let
Come
him talk. I want to
on.
hear this.
Here's the
Drop
problem
him,
right here.
man.
If they're
Here's the
the
problem.
only immigrants there, they
Anytime
still have that.
somebody disagrees with you
Hold
guys,
on.
you
I
just
want
start
to hear
yelling.
what you have to say. Say it.
So
Go
the
ahead.
reason I'm coming with this rationality is because I don't apply. So it's the same logic. I don't apply like jobs. I don't call those white jobs. I don't call anything. I don't apply race to certain things. So there are communities. It's wealthy communities. There's impoverished communities, and there's just communities. So I don't apply these things to or these classifications to communities. It's just simply communities. There are wealthy communities with black people, and there are
Hmm.
impoverished communities with white
Y'all see
people.
what he
I don't
doing?
call these things.
He's going
So I
through so
mean,
many
Y'all
so
see
twisting
what he's
a
words.
doing?
community
There's
is a
no
community.
way. Like, how old?
So,
He sound
sir,
like he
if I
like
Okay.
go to
20 years old.
Okay.
He
We're
ain't
trying to
been in
talk
the
about.
world
I
long
don't have
enough.
to think
Yes,
like
he
that.
definitely.
We
It's a
don't
lot
have
of
to.
talking.
He
bruh,
has
A
not
So
been in
he's
the
community
world
is a
long enough.
community.
saying in this country, you will find neighborhoods that have like 95% of the whole population of the neighborhood be one race. And that's not a black community.
That's not a, like, what the hell are you talking about?
95% of
I mean,
everybody who lives in these communities are
objectively.
black, and that's a community. It's not a black community.
There's
There
all
are places
places.
So
in
if
Just
we're
in
do
gonna
this
it.
country where
host
100%, hold on,
host.
What are
there
we
are
talking
places in
about?
the country where 100% of the residents are of one single race or ethnic group, and that's not a white community. Okay,
Come on.
Host. If you're
you're
gonna
Stop
be
moving.
playing.
objectively accurate, then it's no such thing. It's a community that just so happens to be full of
It's
nothing
just
but one
okay.
race.
Stop it.
But that doesn't mean that because it's first of all, it's against the law for a community to be a black or white community. So
Oh my
under
God.
under
Why is he
your
on
We
the
need to get the hell out of
panel?
here to
Why
this
is he
tether
on
band
Okay,
with
the
service.
we've heard enough. We've heard
Top of the
enough.
line.
Come
We've heard
on,
enough. We've heard
come
enough.
on,
He
man.
said, you know
We've
what?
heard
He said
enough.
something very important.
We've heard enough.
No,
We've heard enough.
no.
Thank you.
He said something very important that exposed the mentality of these tethers, and that is the fact that he could not admit that they don't have any obligation. And really, what I think the better terminology would be towards justice. Black Americans, it is our nature, because we are a godly people, to fight for justice. It's just in our nature to do that. That's why whenever we get these tethers that come out, you got these Pan-Africanists caping for these niggas. It's because they believe and they know, because we have been in a position that we are the mothers and fathers of this planet. We set the moral high ground. We set the standard. So it's in our nature, again, to fight for justice. That's why every black American that's in the chat or on the panel is like, yeah, if I walk into somebody's house, yeah, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm not just going to jump on the motherfucking couch. Because that's the just thing to do. We're not going to walk into your space and disrupt or cause chaos. That's not within our nature. Okay? When we go into a space, when we move into somebody's homeland, we're going to fight with the people there. Because that's in our nature. So yes, I'm going to say I have an obligation. If I move to the Dominican Republic, I have an obligation to that community to uphold it, to help it, to contribute to it. Absolutely. But no, you cannot agree to that, or you can't even admit that simple thing because it's not within your nature. So I'm glad that you admitted that, because you exposed exactly who the fuck you are and how y'all operate, which is unlike God. Let me just say that. We ain't even got to say who it is, but it's not like God.
Y'all see how long I gave him? I gave him so many opportunities to clear that up. He had ample chances. He can't go in another live or another space. This is why I had him on here for so long. And I apologize. I know it was much, but I had him on because he's going to try to go around and be all like, no, y'all took what I said out of context. Y'all didn't let me explain. I didn't really mean it like that. You guys are putting words in my mouth. That's not what I said. No, that's exactly what he said. He said what he meant. When he said the word cater to, that's what made me kind of pause. I'm like, cater to? What do you mean by that, cater to? You see, I asked him that before anybody said anything. And then he was offended by what Alicia said. I'm like, why are you getting so offended by that? And then he started saying, hey, cater to means pretty much we should be able to come over here and do for self and be selfish, and y'all shouldn't have an issue with it. That's what he means.
Absolutely.
It seemed like he jumped up here
It's
just
from
to
the
defend
gold.
Haitians because that's all he did the whole time. Like, he didn't speak on what we're talking about. Like, all he wanted to do was defend his Haitian side. But then you want to claim to be FBA. Make it sense. Make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
He
go
got a
walk
little bit
into a
too
white
offended, didn't he?
neighborhood.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I don't
gonna
think
See,
he
say
my
went too
this.
grandma,
far.
no,
He
my
might be
grandma
right.
Haitian, and my grandma not
Yeah,
like that.
Mike, you don't know
Nobody
his
said
Right.
nothing
grandma.
about Haitians,
Well,
bro.
clearly you ain't been to a big mama house, because what are you talking
Right.
about right now?
He ain't defend his big mama. I don't think he got one.
Hey, Afro.
He said there are no
Af-
black neighborhoods. Now, there are neighborhoods of 99% black people, but that's just a neighborhood that happens to have 99% of the people
Like
being black.
what?
There are
Y'all,
black neighborhoods
I'm
everywhere.
from a small place called Thomasville, Georgia, on the border of Georgia and Florida. I did not live nowhere near white people at all. They live on one side of town, we live on the other side of town. In real life. And it's still like that in 2026. I was born in 1989.
Well,
I just want to say that the only way that we could really put a stop to these immigrants and their nonsense is to not support them. We don't have to use their establishments. We do not
True.
have to view their movies. We do not have to go to their businesses. That's the only way. That's all people understand is the financial aspect of things.
That's a bad.
And that's the best way to shut them up. I don't eat at Haitian restaurants. I don't eat Jamaican food. Do not support people that do not respect you. Plain and simple. And it's not enough of them to survive without the support of the FBA. That's all we got to do is not support. And I'm going to drop because I got to go pick up my grandson.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I
Right,
said
man.
if it wasn't for us catering to y'all, well, you want to use the word catering to, if it wasn't for us catering to y'all, y'all wouldn't have anything.
But they don't respect him.
Hello.
So we have to disrespect them at the highest level is in the pocket. In the pocket.
we're the reason why they eat, breathe, and
Exactly.
sleep.
We the reason why, because they're
Exactly.
not gonna open up the Jamaican joint in the Italian neighborhood.
Hell
No,
to the nah. They ain't gonna do
Oh,
nothing.
no.
no,
Be
because
shut down in 2
no,
weeks.
He
exactly. It's
said
shut
ain't
down
no
in no
white
time.
neighborhoods.
He said,
And it ain't no way. Well, he was a child anyway. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. But that's what we
They
gotta
notice
do. I
beauty.
mean,
Right.
they show up. They appear in a lot of movies in Hollywood and everywhere. We have to stop supporting that too, because a lot of them end up playing like major roles, supporting roles or leading roles in major films as foundational Black Americans. They playing the role of us. If why can't we use American actors, Black American actors for those roles?
Like the girl
They
who
don't want
played
the
Harriet
spirit in it.
Tubman.
They don't want our
Exactly. The
spirit in
little
She
it.
girl that
anti-black.
played the little girl the little rich girl. She was Haitian.
Yep. Are you talking about
No,
from the
we
recent
gotta
movie?
stop it. Look at the boy Snowflake. The whole time the boy had a British accent. We have to stop supporting their BS. And they will learn to respect us because you can't survive without support, without our financial support.
Yeah, and hello everyone. And not only that, I agree with you all 100%, but we have to get back to where we have our own schools, our own grocery stores, because if you look at it, everybody eats off us, and they eat off us because we are still connected. We have to disconnect ourselves, and then we can do only
And
for
we spend
Black
money. You know,
Americans.
black people, they can say what they want about us, but we get dollars and we spend them.
Exactly, we do, and we still spending them in where they can get a hold of our money. We have to make it to where when we spend our money, it's only us getting the benefits of what we're spending. This is where where we have to get to, like they used to do back in the day, planting gardens. Okay, I specialize in tomatoes, so all I'm gonna plant is tomatoes. So you do tomatoes, somebody else do cucumber, somebody else do corn, and we start selling and bartering and trading amongst each other in our neighborhood, start making that money, and then we can keep everybody else out. Nobody else can get in. That's the only way you're going to get respect. They still feel like they can talk noise because we're still connected. We have to disconnect totally. And they'll stop that noise talking, and then they'll want to come to the table and negotiate. But we too connected to them. We got to stop it. We got to stop being connected. Put your money together. Open up a restaurant in your own neighborhood. And if you like to eat Asian food, well, then get some black people that know how to cook. Black Americans that can cook real good Asian food, and go to your Asian black restaurant. We got to start doing that. If we
And
don't, they'll always continue to come up here and talk that crap like that guy was talking. And one more thing, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna shut down. Now, when they come over here and they talk about they immigrants, do you know that the white man gave them that talking? Well, white T man gave them that talking point because he's the immigrant. So if we put those words in the dummy's mouth, because to be honest with you, I'm not trying to like bash them, but most of your immigrants don't think well. And so they get up there and say immigrants built this country. Well, white folks don't mind them saying that because in their mind, white T people don't mind them saying that because in their mind, they're the immigrants. So if we can get these dummies to push that lie for us and it stick, then we'll take it from them. You see what I'm saying? Because they take everything from them. They're trying to put everything in their hands, like hip hop and blues and all that. They want to put that in the hands of the immigrant because they can take it from him. He'll give it to him like he's giving up his countries. That's why they're over here. They're taking it. They can take it from them, but they can't take it from us because we fight for what's ours. So this is the issue, and this is what we're going through dealing with them. And we have to stop it. Do for self. We got to get our own neighborhoods and communities and just dwell within that area and get ourselves strong.
Real talk. That's
You know
very
what?
true. Very correct.
Afro and everybody in the chat acting all surprised that we have a sister on the panel and we hear some chickens. Don't stop showing y'all a city folk.
Oh, and look, are they sitting up here and talking about, yeah, I live in the country. Those are my
Yes.
chickens I have.
Oh yeah, they was putting chickens in the chat.
I didn't know that y'all could hear the chickens. I came out the
Yes.
house. I came out of my house because they were in there playing a game. So I said, well, I'll go to the back. And the chickens are out here basically kind of wanting me to come over there and give them some attention. I didn't think y'all could really hear them. But yeah, I live in the country and I have chickens.
You know what I thought? As you were talking about bartering and stuff, and I was hearing the chickens, I said, now that's who we should listen to. She's living what she speaks.
That's
Yes.
That's
real
what I
now.
was
You
thinking
on
of.
the
And I was
land.
looking at the comments and looking at Afro's face. I said, oh my God, they really showing that they city folk.
Yeah.
we love the southern accent, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I know I talk like I'm a Texan because I am. But yeah, I
I
mean,
know Thanksgiving is lit with you, honey.
That's a blessing.
yeah,
That's
but
all right.
we have to start living like that. You know, we have to do it. You know, we have to, because I was watching what's her name, that lady that cooks, the one that's with Snoop Dogg. Can't think of her name right now, but she was saying how many chickens she have and how many eggs she gather in a day. Now I don't know what, she didn't go into any detail about what she do with her eggs after she gather them. But I'm like, that is so easy. Get you some chickens, get you some ducks. Plant, if you don't know how to plant corn, plant okra. And then you start doing that, then you can start selling and bartering and people will see you. And then you know, have your honey and your bees. Y'all, it's right there. God has given us everything we need. We just got to pool our resources and buy it together. Somebody you can trust, somebody you know you can trust, and then start building, you know, let's start building our wealth. That's how you do it. Our wealth is in the earth. We got to stop going to Kroger for everything, or for HEB for everything, and these doggone hair, what places that these people had his hair and all this type of stuff. We got to find a way. We have to find a way to do it for ourselves.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, true. That's true.
That's a fact.
Never lied.
Yeah, so let's stop dealing with them. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't go to movies. I try not, if I can help it, spend my money where I don't need to. Now, yeah, I might have cable, but I'm breaking myself. I stopped going to movie theaters years ago. I quit going to restaurants years ago. If it's not a black-owned restaurant or if it's not a black-ran store, I do not go. I don't. I try to do my stuff with black people, period. That's just the way it is. That's the way I do
Well,
things. So
there's
no, I
over
don't go
3
to
million black
restaurants.
businesses in the United States. Over 3 million. If I'm not
See?
mistaken, it's like 3.5 million.
Oh, and
Wow.
not to be the bearer of bad news, the black
But that
support black
includes
business.
everyone. I know that's what you're going to say, but
Right.
I
We
did the
trying to get the
research.
we trying to get the disaggregated list, Miss K, so that way we can have
Right.
yeah. So if you go to Melrose Radio page, he is on TikTok. Click his link, right? Whatever link is in his bio. And so far, he has a very FBA inclusive directory, no matter where we are in the nation. It's not an expansive list, but it'll get us off to a good start. So you have
Yeah.
authors, you have skincare, and other things. So check him out. He might have
Yeah.
some others on there, but primarily it'll indicate if they're FBA. The last
And
time I
you know
checked.
where a lot of black FBA are? They're online trying to sell. Now, me, myself, I'm FBA, born and raised in Texas. I'm from Sunnyside. And y'all know when you start in Texas, you start talking about Sunnyside and head tears. That's what we call it, head tears. So y'all know where I'm from. But you know, my daughter, she's into selling teas and honeys and things like that, but she's online. A lot of black people are online, a lot of black Americans, so we have to
Yes, a
go.
lot of black Americans hustle everywhere. On the
Exactly, we
corner,
do.
at the
We
flea
do. We're
market,
hustlers.
at any event.
That's where the word hustle come
We're
from.
not
You're
as
absolutely
pathetic
right, sis.
as pathetic as they try to make us sound. We are
Right.
survivors, so
Right. Yeah. I mean,
that shit
back in
they
the
talking
day.
don't even bother me because they're not who they think they are. They're the delusional ones.
Oh,
Right.
wait, hold
But
on. We haven't.
as long as they can keep us talking and not knowing that we need to pool our resources and do, then they'll continue to walk in that room and disrespect us. I'm trying to tell you, make them start missing that money. We're not making the right people, which is YT people. We're not making the
Exactly. They
right
only
people miss that
disrespect
money.
us
Okay, well
because
let's
we
let's get to
support them.
Britt because there's a couple of people who are in the queue who need to come up, and Britt hasn't spoken yet. So,
Thank you, Afro. All right. Hey,
I'm a
everybody.
drop.
hmm I appreciate that.
So,
Appreciate you.
yeah, I'll say this and then I'll drop down because I got a few things going on. But we don't. So here's the thing. Everything that Auntie said was correct because that was the reason for us even delineating to begin with. It was just to focus in on our people and what we had going on, just fix in house because we had been fooled to think that we had allyship in other people when we were wrong. We've been by ourselves on this land since the beginning. It's only been us for us. So we don't lose anything by not having any partnerships with them or for having any dealings with them. They do. Because we've been extending the hand because we thought that it was a mutual respect and love. But it's not that it hasn't been that way. So I'm happy that it's a good thing that all of this is coming out in the way in which it is because we needed to actually wake up and see that it's only been us for us. It's only been us for us. And we do have resources because we are the resource. We've always been the resource. So yes, it's our minds, our critical thinking, our ability to win and all the resilience in us. We are the resource. So it's nothing that we cannot do as a people, and that's something that we've always said and something that we've always bragged upon. And I think that is the reason why a lot of people hate unknowingly because they're thinking that we're saying, "Oh yeah, Black Americans are the best," but we weren't in competition with them. We were in competition with the white people. So it was never Black Americans, nobody's better than a Black American and nobody can do it like a Black American and all of that stuff that we were doing to basically hype our people up. It was never against them because we thought they were a part of us. All of it was against white people because that has been a known enemy on this land since the beginning. So what? But yeah, so in any race or like competition or Olympics, it was only to let people know that yeah, although we've been through this and we've been through that, we rise. Still we rise and never to bet against us. Never to be in opposition against us because at the end of the day we're gonna rise. I don't care how low it looks and how small it may seem to you of a situation. still we're going to rise. We're going to come out on top because we are just those people. So that is, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the jealousy from the other end, or a lot of miscommunication from the other end, is based off how we've been moving with that type of mindset and attitude, because we've been having to build our stuff up in that way. So it wasn't necessarily a jab to them. It was just a call to our people to let us know that you are special. You are the ones. So that's really all I wanted to say. And I just wanted to continue to, I like these type of conversations because I like when we focus on us and not on them, because I feel like that's not what's important right now. And I do feel like a lot of us need to see and need to hear those type of conversations coming from the other side, because that is what helped me get to this point. Because when I first got on this page, I was like, oh, let's be nice. Maybe that, no. Now I see it for what it is. I see it for what it is, and it's a new day for me. I'm a new person. So with a new mindset, and I'm all for me and I'm all for my people, and that's on that. So, but that's it. That's all I want to say, really.
Yeah, that's true. We got to focus, and that's the whole thing. When people talk about delineation is done out of some type of spite or vitriol or animosity, no, it's not. Delineation is necessary. First off, it's not something that is not already been done. We already are different. Delineation, just by definition, just means recognizing the difference in two different things, separating two different things. We are different than Haitians and Jamaicans and other Africans and things like that. That's not something we can help. Love it or like it, love it or hate it. We are different, and we're just acknowledging that. Right now, we're going through an era in our culture where we're fully acknowledging and embracing our differences. Before, during the whole Pan African thing, we tried not to acknowledge that. We try to embrace being the same as everybody else. We try to embrace everybody else and say we're all connected and we're all one, but no, we're different. No, we're different. And now we're finally reaching this point in this renaissance of the culture that we're embracing that. Okay, and we're proud of it, and we don't want to go back, and that's what other people are upset by.
Hey, Afro, can I say one more
Also,
thing before I drop down, please? If you don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
So, yeah, on top of that, I feel like truly we were made to stand out by God themselves. What is that? What is that? Uh, Okay. Yeah, I think as FBAs, we were made to stand out by God. That's why we're so unique. But I want to say before I drop down, at the end of the day, we want our African and Caribbean brothers to be successful. The tethers can go to hell as far as I'm concerned, but still, I'm just gonna say you guys need to understand that your countries are your birthright. These places are very beautiful. They're if you build them up and stuff. So everybody can't come over here, and everybody can't come over to this country. Like we love y'all at the end of the day, but y'all have to start calling out y'all coon class, okay? Because if they keep messing it up, y'all not gonna have nowhere to go because this country can't fit all y'all. So it is what it is. But hey, the FBA forever be one.
B1.
Like first thing,
Afro,
brother. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to remind you that please stop cussing in the chat. Code your cuss words. Bellamy, you ain't, SHIT either. You're over here in a foreign land getting on my good last nerve. So, Afro, I want to remind you that the Caribbean especially delineated first, right? Yvette Clarke authored the Caribbean Count Bill in 2009/2010. We are just more vocal with our movement, right? The Caribbean Count Bill, for if y'all didn't know, is so that the Caribbean could have their own checkbox on the census. The next census would have been either the 2010 or the 2020, right? And attached to them having that own box, she wanted an accurate count so that they could get funding where they lack. Now, whenever U.S. Freedmen went to her and said, we need a bill specifically for us. Whenever we go to her for certain things specifically for us, we don't get it. She delineated first. And if you didn't know, the Puerto Ricans delineated from the Hispanics nice and quietly. I realized that the other day. But yeah, so Afro, I think that, and I can't tell you, what to put in your monologues and stuff, your answers, responses. But I think it's important to let them know, besides this, because they'll pack it up to us just being in our feelings, their own people who I asked for them to help us get out of office so that we could get somebody more fair and inclusive for all of us, right? Especially us. They say no, but their own people are authoring bills specifically for them to incentivize and stimulate their economies in those nations while simultaneously fighting for them to remain here in this country. I don't get it. It's a split allegiance. It might be a triple allegiance. Allegiance to their country, allegiance to here, and allegiance to their own people. It's really weird. So I just wanted to point that out, Afro. It's just that we're loud, vocal, and we make shit pop. We're the cool kids, and they can't latch on to us and make money in the industry, entertainment, if they're in that way, because we're not going to be on board with them if we're in delineation. So I think they're all about themselves, but they delineated first, and now they're regretting their decision to some extent.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true. But and the thing is that we've always been different. We're saying we're delineating, and when we say we're delineating, what we really mean is acknowledging our delineation. Because by definition, we're not together anyway, and we never have been. Since we've been here enslaved in this country, that makes us different. It does. They say, well, the only difference is where the ship dropped us off. That's a big difference. And that does make us different. Our history, our enslavement, it does make us different. And for the longest time, we have been the ones trying to make it seem like, you know what, we should put our differences aside and all be one people. And everybody else has embraced that difference and put that difference on the at the forefront. Like the Caribbeans, like Africans and all of that. They've been very loud and boastful about that difference. And now we said, okay, well, you know what? I guess you're right. I guess we are different. And we've always needed it to, this is why we're getting certain policies and legislation specifically for us anyway. We've always needed to do this. This has been an honest mistake. Dr. Claude Anderson said we've needed to do this. We've always needed to, we should have done this from day one. Okay. But we were trying to be nice and friendly and cordial to everybody and welcoming to everybody. And now we've got the receipts and we've had a collective agreement, a consensus on the fact that, yeah, we do need to embrace our difference. We have, just like everybody else has. And it's not out of hate, not out of animosity, not out of spite or revenge or anything like that. No. It's just acknowledging the truth. For us to go back is for us to lie to ourselves. That's what it is. And we're just not going to lie to ourselves anymore. That's all. We're just going to tell the truth. Going forward, we're going to tell the truth.
And one more thing, y'all, before I go. Have you noticed that every time you have a female that want to talk crazy about us or to us, talking about we don't have culture, you notice they always have edges. They always pull down their baby hair, got their little gel, got their little edges slayed and laid, but we don't have culture. But you sitting up here representing our culture. Even that girl that call us dirty black Americans, she's sitting up there with edges. Come on now.
She used her edges to conceal how big her forehead was. Let's be clear.
But you know what, though, y'all? They do it in a room full of men. They never do it when a foundational black American woman is there. Have y'all noticed that?
I was wondering where the females were, because I know it couldn't have been no black American females there, and she got that out of her mouth.
Right.
Yeah. She thought she was cute, too. She thought she looked good, too.
Yes, she did. She
She
did.
too. She really did.
I'm like, girl.
Laid back with the ponytail. She thought she was that girl. She thought she was doing it for real.
She did. She really did.
She really did. Yep. Lips and
Afro,
Froze, you Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I was
you
about
got
to
it.
ask you. Okay. So, it's some things I wanted to point out since day one of Black History Month. It's since Shabuzi, it's has been an uphill battle and a constant foolishness, and we've been windmilling and checking and putting belts behind since this foolishness of them talking about immigrants and Black Americans and America. The whole they've been disrespecting us since day one of Black History Month. And let me point this out too, because it's something that we're talking about, but we need to elaborate on, and we need to put belt to ass on this too. And this is when it comes down to these corporations and these institutions. I've noticed since Black History Month has started on social media platforms, they've been weaving uh, Black diaspora history into our month, which is trash.
Oh
Like,
shit, I made
I
it.
do not need to be seeing no Kwanzaa colors, no RBG, none of that for Black History Month. I've been seeing on posts on social media, X, IG, TikTok, uh, they'll do a whole Black American spread, and then they'll pop somebody of African descent or Jamaican descent or whatever descent in on our celebration. I've also seen in places that I frequent, like beauty shops, where I go to buy, like my skincare, my body care, or whatever, right? Like places like Ulta, they have a Black music history playlist, right? Where they've been playing mostly predominantly Black history, Black music, Black American music artists, right? And then I'm also seeing and hearing things like Jamaican music and what's her name? Tim's. No disrespect to Tim's. We love Tim's. I like Tim's music. I like her music. But they're saying in honor of Black American History Month, this is our playlist. But you are actually crowbarring in Afro beats and Caribbean rhythms and all this other Jamaican, all this stuff woven in, even some reggaeton on Black History Month playlists. Like, we need to hold these corporations accountable as well, because what they are actively doing is got to the point where when we go in, oh, here are some of the Black beauty products that you can buy in store uh, that are Black centric, Black owned, but they're not specifying if they're Black American. And this is corporations a part of the shenanigans too, and we need to be calling them out as well. And we need to start looking like, okay, this is Black owned, this is this, Black that. Is it Black American owned? And why are you pushing this on Black History Month, Black American History Month to be specific? It's like they are literally infiltrating it on a corporate level as well. I've also noticed this being a thing that they was doing in Target, which I ain't been in Target in a while. I was forced to go to Target because my sister needed something specific, and I just went in there and got the looking and seeing. It was some foolishness. Also, we need to also keep the same energy for Juneteenth moving forward. I'm not trying to see no red, no orange, and no green, no red, black, and green. I'm not trying to see that on Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? These are Black American historical uh, situations that we created and we started for us to celebrate us. And as Black Americans, we need to start calling this out on social media with these corporations. Let these mother people know that we see you. We see you, and we see how you're trying to, you're participating,
Sister,
and you're
can I
trying
talk
to
Yeah,
to you?
weave.
Hey, hold on.
Everybody is
No.
on mute. Why would you do that? And your name is Mike too. I'm familiar with you. Please remain on your mute button because others need to speak before you, sir. Go ahead,
And
Liz.
thank
I
you
was
so
asking
much.
a question
Uh,
about something she said. I'm so
Well, I
sorry.
wanna, I wanna finish though. I would appreciate that. I wouldn't interrupt you, so please don't do that to me. Um, I see how they're trying to weave this in on us. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I have not supported any Black businesses in store specifically for that deceptive label of Black owned, because They're saying black owned as in black owned, but they're not being specified. They're not specifying, and we need to call them to task to specify where are these companies coming from. Are they Nigerian? Are they Jamaican? Are they American black owned? It's okay for it to be black owned, but specify black owned businesses during Black American History Month who we're actually trying to support, because there's no difference than that man being foolish with what he did with Essence, and now Essence is flopping because of his foolishness, because the so-called originals were here, and now the so-called originals are in debt trying to pay that money back to New Orleans. Now look, I want to say this, and I'm gonna drop down. Make sure as Black Americans here on these platforms that we're being specific, and make sure that these platforms are being held accountable for being specific, and also make sure these corporations are being held accountable for being specific. Because put it like this, even if we're stumping down and doing what we need to be doing, and we seeing what's cracking out here, we got to make them know we're not flat blackness with these corporations as well. On that, I'll mute.
All right, appreciate that. Yeah, that is true. We got to be very specific. We got to know exactly who it is so we don't run into a whole Essence thing thinking that we're supporting our lineage and we're actually not. Okay.
Oh my God. Bellamy has re-entered the chat. He's
Yeah, I
saying
see
a bunch
Bellamy.
of
I see,
nonsense.
let him.
1 minute,
Bellamy's
Mike. I'm
upset.
talking to the host.
Bellamy's upset.
Also, there's two of our men, Simon, and nobody that I really need to request. One moment, Seth. I'm a mod, y'all, so I'm just kind of giving direction to Afro. They do have some announcement. I tried to make the announcements, but I think it would be better coming from them, because they know they won't be up here saying, I think, they got to come deliver the impact punch themselves. So please request up, fellas. And you have to wait, Jen, because there's other people. Bellamy is about to be muted, and he can request up. But I don't want to read his comments putting us down when he's over here helping to gentrify our areas, especially in New York, right? He's a whole tether.
Yeah.
He's a tether.
He can throw his temper tantrum, but like I said on YouTube, they were very affected by that boycott last year. Okay? They were very affected by Essence last year. So all of that, we don't have no power, y'all don't have nothing. Okay. And we beating y'all though. So what does that mean about y'all? What does that say about y'all? If we don't got no power, but we whooping y'all, what does that say? Let's get to Ronnie.
What's going on, family? Thank you for having me up. I'll keep this short. I found out about delineation last year. I'm Sacramento, California's finest, but I stay in Atlanta. And before delineation, there's a store on the south side. I used to go there faithfully at least once a week, and I would get 3 t-shirts a week. And sometimes I get like the little knockoff smell good oils. I did that faithfully every single week, and I had hella t-shirts. But I would still keep going because this was my part of my thing. And then when I found out about delineation, there's different degrees of it, and I started practicing delineation in so many ways. And I stopped going to that store, right? And to be honest, I didn't even find a replacement. But I still got hella t-shirts, right? But I decided to do that as part of my delineation. Just like I stopped listening to certain music artists, I don't give their videos no views, and I don't give it no likes. I don't share nothing, and I don't go to any Jamaican-owned restaurants in Atlanta, no Caribbean-owned restaurants in Atlanta. I make sure it's foundational Black American-owned, even if I got to drive out the way to do it, because that's how dedicated I am with how I decide I want to delineate. And even like when it comes down to the movies, I still have not watched that Martin Luther King movie. I still did not watch that Harriet Tubman movie. And when I found out about that little girl, Sarah Rector, and her story, and that they was going to have that movie, I was hella excited, and I was going to take my son to the movie theaters to go see this movie. And then when I found out that it was a Haitian girl, and I'm like, damn, they're doing this again. I on purpose had to explain to my son why we weren't going to go see that movie, and I never seen it, right? On Monday, a couple days, like 3 days ago, I went to my cousin's house, and there was a few of my cousins over there. They had the drink and everything. And when I walked in and sat with them in the living room, I got my cup, and he was like, "Look, Ronnie Mack, it's the movie." And I looked at the movie, and I was like, this is Sarah Rector, and he was like, yep. And I picked up my cup and I walked into the man cave, and I never watched the movie with him. And then I explained to them why, and it was like, okay, we feel it. But I did that because I'm standing on my principles. I say all this to say what the sister up there was saying that had the chickens. She's absolutely right. I look at things like we built a boat, right? And we allowed all the, the quote unquote black immigrants to come in the boat with us. All they had to do was bring a plug so that no water gets in. But the whole time we've been on the boat, everybody been building up their stuff, and they've been shutting us out on the boat that we built. So we don't got to do nothing to them, but we're gonna leave you guys on the boat. We just gonna take our plug, and if we take our plug out the boat, they're all gonna sink, and that's just what it is. You brought up Afro before I got on the boycott, right? The boycotts did right. If you guys remember, with the civil rights, that Montgomery bus boycott, them white folks don't never give us nothing because we just sit there and march in the streets. It's when your pockets start hurting. So unless damage is being caused on like an infrastructure level and stuff is burning down, or if you're boycotting and not spending no money, no one's gonna care about what you're doing. So all that marching and shit don't matter unless there's no money being spent. When them white folks lost out on all that money, what do you know happened? You feel me? So we got to hit them where their pockets hurt. And there's too many of us, and there's not enough of them. We don't have to do nothing to them, but we just going to take our plug out the boat, and that whole entire thing's going to sink. And then we get to build our own boat up again, you guys, and it'll be bigger than the Titanic this time when I land.
That's true. And then just put the defenses on it that we need. That's all we need to do. Let's
Can
get
I
to.
add this one thing really quick, and then you can drop me down? I love what that brother just said. And we also, like I said, Juneteenth is coming. And also these midterms are coming. Let's make sure we make our presence felt in these midterms and our demands felt. And anything that has anything to do with Black Americans in general, especially in these entertainment spaces where they're using immigrants to play our leading roles in Black American storylines. We need to start letting these corporations know, as well as these movie houses, as well as these big conglomerates that do these movies. Listen, if you don't employ well acted, like well seasoned Black American actors for these roles, we're telling you right now, we're not going to support it, and you're going to have a hard time getting it off the ground, because we're going to put so much of a negative stigma on it until you do right and put the right people in these roles. We're not supporting that. I don't think they understand how delineation is working, but they're starting to see it, because Essence Fest is garbage now. It ain't even, you know what I'm saying? They keep effing around and they're going to keep finding out. But I just want to say, let's keep this energy up, because they need to know it ain't just on just the lower level. We're doing this on all levels. If we're not being properly represented by our own people, and we're not in spaces and places where our people are being acknowledged, we're extracting our dollars, we're extracting our presence, we're extracting our swag, we're extracting our essence, and anything else we have to give to pushing anything forward. And we need to stay on this, because it's absolutely working. Thank you for having me up. Feel free to drop me down to make room for someone else. Have a good day, you guys.
You too. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Let's get to Sabrina, and then we'll move on from there. We probably might not be up unless they're like a fan or something, because we'll be wrapping it up in a little bit.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know I'm from South Carolina, and I am FBA. I just wanted to get the word around. I was on a panel last night with there were some the Pan African folk, along with some of the other different cultural people. And they were making mockery of FBA, and we all went into like the census, got on conversation about the census, and they was just making joke about how FBA would never be considered, a real lineage of people or be acknowledged as a real race of people. So I went in to check the census, and I just wanted to let everyone know that is of FBA that when the next census come around, just to go in and write in FBA on your census. And if you get enough people to write in FBA, it will consider us as a race. So then we will become a race. So then it will pick us up as a race. It will be official.
One
So
moment,
whenever
one moment,
Can
one
I
moment.
ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Mike, please stop. Don't piss me off. So here's my thing. Do you mean race or ethnicity? And do you know that we have activists that secured a self-identifier already? That
Yeah, but like on a
you
census
have an
where
echo, I
it
think.
has like African American or black, and then it has all the different types of uh other types of race up under there, and they was just making fun. They was like, well, you don't see FBA on there, do you? You still see African American. That's the legal term for black. So in the end, FBA will never be a legal term. And they were saying that they already went to
What?
try and get the name legalized, but they got knocked down twice.
Who
And
went to get
so
the name
BX,
legalized?
BX,
Who did
BX,
that?
BX,
No,
BX.
no,
You
ain't
can
no
let me
BX.
speak.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. So,
You got it?
Simon, can you come up because we do have a self-identified Black American Negro descendants of freedmen, and it's recognizable. And so,
No, it's not.
and
Okay,
then
wait,
Anna,
BX,
you're
BX.
not even Black American, Mike, please, because
Mike.
I don't want
Black
misinformation
and I'm
spread on this
American. How am I not
platform.
Black
When we
American?
Hold
have
on, Mike,
lobbyists
Mike,
already
dude,
rallying at the OMB,
dude.
I don't want to make my decision based off of a panel of a bunch of immigrants when I'd rather speak to our
I'm
people
Black and
who.
I'm American.
Mike,
How am I
Go
not
Mike,
Black
Mike,
American?
ahead.
Mike. Listen to me. Listen to me, Mike. Shut up. It's
Thank
not your
you.
turn to speak. Stop doing
So,
it.
No,
Sabrina, we
I
do
had a
have
question and
lobbyists.
I
We
keep
No,
do
you
getting
don't.
have.
talked
No, you
over.
don't have a question anymore. How about
Sir,
that?
that was
Thank
very
you.
moist. I don't know what the hell his orientation was, but that was
Yeah,
getting real
I
moist.
don't care
I
for
like
your
that.
question no
That was
But
more.
egregious.
I just kind of want to get this out there. We do have lobbyists. I don't want to make our decision based off of a panel of anti-Black American tethers. We have people who have been stomping the yard at the OMB for a while. So I want us to be on one accord, and I don't want misinformation spread when we already have a self-identifier that locks out the African American, and that's Black American Negro descendants of freedmen. That's who we are. That's another way to say FBA. And you keep saying to be identified as a race when that isn't a race, that's an ethnic group. Race is unconstitutional. So I was asking if Brother Simon could request up and kind of talk about the ONB and our self-identifier for those who are a bit nervous to mark African American while everybody else is marking Jamaican, Haitian and stuff. If he decides to come up, it would be Brother Simon Afro. And I'll go back on mute and Sabrina can land her plane. But don't really pay attention to them. Come talk to your reparationists. Come talk to your activists. Who are these people? We don't know them. They could be in bed with Knocking and Cobra. And they could be in bed with anybody. Talk to your reparationists, Sabrina, not them folk.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, doke. We're gonna get to cloudness. Let's get
And
maybe.
Simon is in the room. He has requested.
I
So
see.
if we, thank you. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Thank you, Brother Simon.
How you
I'm
doing?
FBA. I just turned 50 last week, so um
A lot of 50-year-olds in.
yeah. No, but
I'm just saying that because there's been a few people who've been like, I'm 50. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
yeah,
Me
I just
too.
turned
I'm
50.
50. I'm
Yeah,
51 now.
yeah. So I was watching that other dude that came over and he was talking all that nonsense, and I was like, man, drop this dude, man. But you know what? It's a good thing that you let him get it out. And I don't be wanting to hear them a lot of times, but they just tell us who they are, and it's a good thing because more people are waking up. Like I had an incident with my baby brother. It's going on right now, and he got him a tether, and got her pregnant. My mom and dad had to just go up to Dallas. I mean, to Denton, to go stay with the baby because this chick is. Oh my goodness! But I told my brother, I said, "See, you didn't vet who you was messing with, dog. Just because they look like us, don't mean they with us, dog. Yeah, you got to vet these people. I learned out the hard way, long time ago, bro. You know what I mean? So he's going through that. My baby brother's going through that right now, man. And I feel bad for him, but yeah, I mean, he stuck his thing into the wrong hole, man. And boy, he's going through it right now, and uh. It's sad, but yeah, but they expose who they are, man. I mean, I really don't be.
What did she do? What did she do?
He just had she just had the baby, and she was trying to like baby let somebody else that they don't even know a babysitter, like some white people. I was like, oh hell no, hell to the no. You don't get that goddamn baby to these people, man. You don't even know these people.
Mm.
And yeah, the baby, it'll be one in July. So it's a toddler. No, hell no. So my mom and dad, they bounced up there to go and stay with the child because her and my brother are going through it right now. She kicked my brother out, even though he paying all the bills. She kicked him out. She took a part time. She's doing the most right now. But I told him, I said, bro, you didn't vet her. That's what you listen. I don't. But these dudes, but hard head make a soft ass. So it is what it is. But he didn't learn from my other brother who
Where
had
is she?
got.
Where? Okay. Where is she?
I don't know.
I think I know. I think. Okay. You don't know where she's from?
I don't know if she's a tether. She's a tether. That's what my mom would say. She's a tether because I put her on the Tariq, my mom and dad, and I put them on Tariq and everybody, and I put them on y'all. They watch Afro Elite. They watch you. They watch Black Alpha. They watch Jason Black. So she's a tether. My mom and them, they were pissed. They left like 3 or 4 in the morning to go up there the other day. They drove up to Denton because my brother, he was really he called them like Tuesday morning or early in the morning, and because he's working the third, he had to change his shift because he wanted to be home so he could babysit his own child. And so it's too much, bro. But I'm pissed about it, but I can't really be pissed because he got to go through his own experience with this thing. You know what I mean? I'm pissed about it, but there's nothing I can really do about it. But he didn't learn from my other brother who had got him a essay and had 2 things with that thing, and just didn't learn the hard way. Some people have to hit they got to hit the wall hard, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm their big brother. I'm their older brother. And it is what it is, man. But
well, I wish him the best. Wish him and the baby the best.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah, let's be careful, brothers. Let's be careful. Let's get to. We're gonna get
Men
now.
too, women too. Women have to be careful too, Afro. You can't split the gender, okay? I gotta tell you from experience. Women, please be careful, just like our men. Please be careful.
Okay. Let's say, y'all. Where does It was kind of glitching a little bit. Simon, you wanted to come and elaborate on the whole OMB thing, and then we're gonna get to Mo correcting you.
Shout outs to you, Afro, ZZ, BX. So to my sister Sabrina, that kind of doesn't understand. I did send you in your DMs. I sent you the petition to kind of explain what a Black American Negro, descendants of freedmen, is. That's just another way of saying FBA. The reason why it's not FBA is because we go by our birth certificate, something that these immigrants don't have. Our ancestors then this whole reclassification thing is now about to come back and bite everybody in their backside except for us. We through genealogy we could trace our birth certificates back from being black to Negro to colored, mulatto, back to when we got emancipated in the 1800s. We've got a status called freedmen. So That's why legally we pushed for Black American Negro descendants of freedmen, because no immigrant is a freedman. There is no immigrant freedman. And they can't attach, but all of our history is freedmen history, Negro, Black American history. All of our inventions is freedmen, Negro, Black American inventions. Music genre, same thing. So yeah, we kind of, so with the O and B, um, we've been having this petition go by. I'll put the petition in the chat right now. You could copy, paste it into your server, and it'll pop up. Just sign the petition. It still has to go on. And I want to kind of say this is uh this thing that we're doing is gonna take. It's not gonna be like one big bite of this cheeseburger and it's all gone. We're taking it on one chip at a time, bite at a time. Let's just keep educating our people. The main thing I want to say is never, ever, ever. It's three things. That spit test thing, that DNA spit test, don't do it no more. Secondly, do not let people call you African descent. African descent is the next term after African American, where they want to put everybody in the same bucket. African descent is the same bucket as calling yourself African American, where all these immigrants that got a little bit of African DNA, or they may come from the continent of Africa or ancestry to Africa. Now, what they want to do is put you all in the same boat, say that you have the same problems, and say that other people could talk for your ancestors, your grandmother, your great aunt, and the badges of oppression that our people went through. They want to let African descent people speak for us now. So never, don't, when you start seeing African descent, raise your hand and literally question that shit forever. They want to all lives matter Black American lineage. So yeah, that's pretty much. I'll put the petition inside the in the chat again so that people could read it. But another thing is the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, are anti-Black American at this point. Along with the Democrat Party, they're all anti-Black American at this point. For the specific reason is Black Americans are the only ethnic group of people in this land that don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat, and we still have all of our rights intact because we are the foundational Black American natives of this country. We don't need a political party in order for us to enforce our rights. We are able to enforce our shit up against whoever tries it. We just have to know our law behind it, because we are a specific, distinctive population of the United States. We were formed here, in a sense. So yeah, let's not be fear mongered. The Democrat Party is an enemy at this point. This is not the same Democrat Party of your grandmother, of Martin. This is not the Martin Luther King Democrat Party. This is not even the Jesse Jackson Democrat Party. This is the immigrant Elon Umar, AOC, immigrant Muslim LGBT, that type of party. This is not the party of common sense at all. What I can say is the Republican, I know, hey, what is Republicans doing for you? Well, what the Republicans are doing is getting rid of these melanated ops. These melanated immigrants are coming in using African American. They're calling themselves Black, and they're using African descent to run for Congress, to run for political parties, so that they can now get the pen and write stuff into law that disenfranchises Black American Negro freedmen people. So
One, Simon. So
yeah.
let me say this: it's African descent and Afro descendant, because there's a whole org named AfroDescendant.org, and they showed up at one of our meetings, and the man said, "Yeah, I think we should go with Afro descendant because I'm Haitian and technically I'm Afro descendant too." See the wordplay? See the play? So
Yeah.
I
So
yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say, because honestly, like Africa, and this I'm gonna land after this because they've been getting mad when I say this. Africa doesn't even technically exist. All right, Africa is not a tribe in Africa. Africa is not a language in Africa. Africa is also not a government in Africa. Africa is not a currency in Africa. Okay, so they're big. So it's literally does now. Is there a landmass over there with some trees and animals and people living how they live in? Sure, the land exists, but the 5,000 tribes that are on that land, they cannot literally say Africa in their mother tongue. If the 5,000 tribes that are local to that landmass can't say Africa in their mother tongue, who the fuck are you to tell me I'm an African? Those locals there can't even say Africa or black in their mother tongue, but I'm supposed to be them. That's not what's happening. We are North Americans of the United States, Black American, Negro, freedmen, people. All right. Yes, foundational Black Americans to keep it shaky, right? Um. So yeah, we do have people fighting for us.
I'm gonna let you land because we got to wrap it up soon. So
Yeah. I'm landing right here. Yeah. I guess run your genealogy. That DNA. It's not who your family is. Genealogy is your family records, your death certificates, your birth certificates, your war certificates, your badges. So just know your family's names. It's literally just knowing your family's name. Get in touch with your mom and your dad, get your family's names, and then get in touch with a genealogy. You go to the freedmannation.com. I'm pretty sure genealogists are all around here, but freedmannation.org, and you could get a genealogist to get you back to your 1870 census. I'll land with that, brother. Thanks for letting me talk.
all right,
Thank you, Simon.
let's get to what's this? More correct than you.
Hey, peace, everybody. Hey, Afro. I love your panel. Hey, BX. I wanted to say, I wanted to piggyback off of the people who were talking about, when you our black dollar and how
I'm
we
sorry.
need to
Yes,
be
and the American
careful.
Indians too. I'm sorry, sister. I just know I don't mean to not include them into that. Yes, you guys are classified under the free Negroes and the free people of color also. That you're protected. Go ahead, sister. It's on you. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to say I did see something, or especially for Black History Month. Like she said, we need to be careful who is putting things out and who we're giving our money to, and if it's really Black owned. I don't know if anybody else saw this, but you know how they went in the dollar store and they had these mugs, with the woman with the afro because it's Black History Month, and he tested the only ones that had lead poisoning, fully lead, were the African American ones for Black History Month. So they want our money, yet they're trying to poison us. So we don't know who put those on those shelves, who owns them, or who is distributing them. So, Juneteenth is coming up. People from here, from Texas, we've been celebrating Juneteenth. And as soon as it hit and it became a federal holiday, they doing all this stuff, a money grab, selling all the stuff and Juneteenth ice cream and stuff. Stop buying that stuff because we don't know who's behind it. They didn't want to, it was never in the stores before. And like she said, those are not our colors. I've always celebrated Juneteenth, and I have never seen those colors on there. So we need to get that changed, if that's what they want to do. But just be careful because, like, it could be Juneteenth, and they have a Juneteenth mug up there, and we buying them. And these people who are not for us want our dollar, but they can also be trying to harm us. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's a way for them to get our money, but also they don't like us, so they're going to do something to sabotage it or harm us. And I just wanted to people to be aware.
Yeah, we can't allow them to capitalize off our holiday, which is why they wanted to federalize it too. Now they're going to have a whole bunch of events and things like that. If anything, we should be the ones making merchandise and selling merchandise. What you need to be doing during Juneteenth is supporting smaller black-owned businesses, or just black-owned businesses. It don't necessarily have to be small, but like our own stuff. Your local mom and pop shops, or somebody selling shea butter online, or homemade T-shirt or hat or whatever the case may be. all of that. So that's what needs to be going on. Not going to Walmart and getting whatever type of merchandise or decorations or anything like that that they may be having.
Right,
Who
right. It's
authored
never
that
been about
Juneteenth
that.
bill?
Right.
Yeah,
Yvette Clarke authored the Juneteenth bill. That's why I said it's performative for us, the Juneteenth bill, because everybody, even the
everybody
corporations,
comes from
benefit.
Africa. Well, we make it, so what?
And then for her people, she got the Caribbean Count Bill, which is their delineation bill. But for us, she gets Juneteenth, not disparaging the event of Juneteenth, but we've been celebrating it all this time. And a lot of us know what symbolism and being performative is. And so we didn't necessarily need Juneteenth to be federally recognized. We've always been celebrating it.
Yeah,
So
that's very
Yvette
true.
Clarke, a true Jamaican,
Facts.
authored that
Facts.
bill and got her people the Caribbean Count Bill. And that has funding for them and takes funding from us, you know?
All right. Yep. Let's get to
You
Bella
can drop me down.
Balami. Okay.
Good evening, people. I just
Evening.
had to pose one question. Right? What true power do you guys think you say you have apart from voting Republican?
Who said anything about voting Republican?
I'm a firm believer that's the only power you guys have, spilling all this HAT speech, and that's the only
Oh,
true
what is
power
that?
you have.
What speech are we? Which HATE speech are we spewing? What are we
Oh,
saying exactly?
tether. You guys are tethers. You need to go back home and go build your
That's
own
what you.
country.
Hold on. That's what. And I was just talking about that last night. It's very interesting. That word really bothers you. That's hate speech. Is what you're saying? That's hate speech.
It is because you personally, you can't call me a tether, right? So that's all I gotta say.
So all you gotta say is tether is hate speech.
It is. Because what makes one a tether? Would you call a 12-year-old boy a tether? You should go home and go fight a war, go start a war.
Nobody's telling y'all to do that.
Yes you are. Yes you are.
No,
A
nobody said
12-year-old
that
boy.
here.
We're talking
Nobody
about
said that
grown
here.
people,
No
sir.
I'm just talking about. I mean, we just acknowledge the fact that as a grown man yourself, I mean, people know you, people know about you, and everything like that. You're a loser.
oh
And
yeah.
hold on, you're a loser, which is why you come up here because people care
No.
about what I have to say. People care about what
Now
ZZ has to say and
this the
BX has to
most
say.
power you had in your
Nobody,
whole
hold on,
life.
no, nobody
You
cares
don't
about what you have to say because you're a failure and a loser at life, which is why you have to be
you don't
around
step
people
in
who are
real life. Only
relevant. No,
power
no,
you
no, no. You have to be around people who are relevant. And the fact that we call people out for their loser, pathetic, shitty
only
behavior, that's what makes you offended. No, we wouldn't call a child a tether. What would a child be doing that's tetherish? You could do something that's tetherish. The fact that you came up here and asked a very disingenuous question. Let me ask you this question. If you want me to answer your question, let me ask you this question. As a grown man, we're going to be adults right now. We're going to be adults. You said, what power do we have besides voting Republican, right? Is that your question? That was your question, right? Now you can
yes
unmute
indeed. That
yourself.
was
That
my
was your
question.
question.
Yes
Now,
indeed.
before
That
I
was my
answer your
question.
question, which I will, you are Jamaican, if I'm correct, right?
Indeed.
Okay, fine. The power we have economic power. Ask Target
Oh,
about that. Ask the African businesses. That didn't take a vote. That didn't
is
take a
Target still
survey. Hold
boycotting?
on, hold on. You asked the question. I'm answering the question, and then I'm gonna ask a question. Okay, we have economic power. We have trillions of dollars worth of economic power that we can use at our will. That's the answer to your question. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What power do Jamaicans have when it comes to taking their island back from the Chinese who own all the beaches? What power do Jamaican people have when it comes to owning anything in Jamaica? I want to know that question. I just want to know. You ask me a question,
Personally, I
I
own
want you
land
to
in
answer. What
Jamaica.
power do Jamaicans have when it comes to anything going on in Jamaica right now?
You can own land in Jamaica as a Jamaican.
I probably could. Why can't you? Why can't you own land? I probably could
No,
own land.
I said you could. I could
I'm pretty sure
because
I
I own
can. I'm
land in
pretty sure
Jamaica.
I can. I mean, if the
No,
Chinese
you
can, I'm pretty sure I can
you
too.
can too. You
No, I'm
can too.
asking what what power do Jamaicans have when it comes to owning their stuff? Because they don't. So I'm asking, why
They
not?
do. You can
They
own
don't. No,
land.
they don't. No, they don't. Well, no, they
What,
don't. What
so
do
they
they
can't
own?
own land? They can't own land? They don't own anything?
What land? What land do they
The
own?
tourism sector is sold out.
The
Yes,
tourism?
correct.
They
Yeah.
don't own
The
that.
tourism, yes.
They own that. Who? Name.
Exactly.
Name
I'm
who?
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're
You're
not.
missing
I'm
my
asking you
point.
a
I'm
question.
agreeing with you.
Y'all see how bad faith he gets? What power do y'all have? I want y'all to understand when these tethers come up here, y'all don't get no power. Y'all weak. Y'all
You
weak. Y'all don't
don't.
get no power. Y'all don't got no power. Y'all don't own anything in y'all homeland. Yes, we do.
But
What?
I own shit here and I own shit
Y'all
back
own
home.
mismatch
Personally.
flip flops. That's the best y'all got. Y'all own match flip flops and holes in your underwear. That's the only thing. Y'all don't even own the underwear. Y'all just own the holes in the underwear. That's the only thing y'all own. That's the only thing y'all own. Not even y'all sharing the underwear and y'all own the holes in it. That's the only thing. Talk about what power do y'all have, man? Please. You want some advice? Is that what you're asking for? I think he's asking for advice because he's like, how do y'all do it? We can't do it. How do you do it? But my glut.
Hey, that's tether, and that's what they always do is project. Because if what we were doing is so powerless, you wouldn't be over here speaking on it. You wouldn't be over here trying to benefit from it. You wouldn't be over here, period. To be honest, if there was power elsewhere, then you would be elsewhere. But you're not in your homeland where there's no power at. I mean, quite literally, some of them ain't even got electricity. We ain't gonna get into it. So yeah, you have to find the places and attach yourselves to the people where power is at. So please don't project that nonsense on us. That's what they let it do. That's tether talk. Please.
And notice too how we don't go into Jamaican hosted lives in Jamaican rooms and be all like, y'all don't have anything, ha ha, y'all are weak, ha ha. We don't do that. He's coming over here with trying to assume with the I gotcha. Oh, what power do you have besides voting Republicans? Because that's the only thing I see, ha ha. Wound up getting clowned. We don't even do that to them. And this is the type of behavior that we're delineating from. This is exactly why. Every time we bring them up here, I just want it to be known. It drives and motivates us to make sure we prioritize our lineage. Every time. Every time. Let's get to Mr. T.
What's the word, brother? Peace out of Chicago, FBA. I gotta salute y'all once again, as usual. You know what I'm saying? Because that tether was disgusting. Over here lying and carrying on as he do. You know, it's really sad that these people can't mind their own business and get their own thing accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to get in up our business and look at what we doing, we just trying to self-identify, restore the trauma that was had on us, and fix these issues. That's what we're trying to do. And they have a serious problem with it. It shows they're evil. They're just evil people. It is what it is. So salute to y'all, man.
All right. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. All right. Let me see. Mark is still in the chat room. Mark, in the chat room. You still in the chat room. Do you want to come up, Mark? Or what's his name? Jen? Type yes if you want to come up. If you still want to come up, just type yes. Just let me know. Okay. I'm waiting for him. Lips and Froze, you got it.
You know what?
His
I'm
name is
sorry.
Mike, not Mark.
Background.
Mike. Okay.
I'm sorry if you hear a little
Oh,
background
he
noise.
says, okay, he says absolutely. Well, too bad. You can't. Go ahead.
Sorry about the background noise. I'm
You got it.
actually in Sprouts doing some last minute shopping and I didn't know I even hit the request button.
Oh,
But
okay.
since I'm here, piggybacking on what the other young lady was saying in regards to how we need to be careful, how we spend our dollars, I also want to add this. I work in an industry where I'm constantly always around things that need to be tested and trialed or whatever, and things that are specifically catered to us, be very wary of. Things like black girl sunscreen. I'm saying this because I've looked at the ingredients, the most toxic ingredients ever known. Anything that's catering to us specifically with the word black in front of it and your gender or anything like that, look at the ingredients. It has some of the most toxic chemicals ever known to be very harmful to us. So just know, a lot of us, we gravitate to things when they're, exclusively marketed and given specifically for us, but there's an agenda or whatever. So just be mindful with anything that has anything to do with anything that we need, that we have to use. Look at that ingredient content. I have, I don't know if you guys have it, but there is an beauty ingredient Bible that I actually own, and you can find this anywhere on any book publishing. I mean, you can find this anywhere where you buy books or whatever. Look at these ingredients and how they actually chemically harm black bodies in general, and just be mindful of those things. And like the young lady said, moving forward when it comes to like Juneteenth and all this stuff coming up, and how they're trying to flat black us into everything and trying to African wash us into everybody else's situation and add themselves into ours, just stand on business and call all these companies out, because anything that has anything to do with us now, with their whole entire chest, that they're trying to infiltrate our places and spaces and make their faces the face of our movements and what is collectively ours. And with that, I'll land. Thank you for having me again.
Well, thank you. Of course. Appreciate you as always. ZZ, any final words? We got to wrap it up. So,
Final words. Yeah, the disrespect is absolutely egregious, and it's unfortunately something that Black Americans have dealt with. But on the flip side of that, fortunately, this is why we know how to deal with it. So yeah, we have to continue to check it. And Black History Month is important, and we at the end of it. So yeah. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm just people in front of me driving, doing the egregious stuff. So, yeah, shout out to the chat. So I'm looking at the road, my bad. But shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel. I appreciate everybody coming up. Appreciate the guests. This was a great conversation. Yeah, shout out to the ancestors, man. We about to keep taking this disrespect on Black History Month. Hell to the no. And even after Black History Month, we standing on Black business. You feel me? Yeah.
alrighty then. All right. BX, make sure, first off, before y'all go, make sure you guys go to For the Culture on YouTube. All right. We got very informative, very entertaining, but it's entertaining and informative, very informative. Just got to say that one last time. Content, podcasts, lives, debates, all that. For the Culture on YouTube. Y'all go there. Y'all subscribe. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of great stuff up there. All right, BX, can you close us out, please?
Sure. So we did take a lot of disrespect this Black History Month. However, they're going to get back just as good as they gave out. And sometimes, you know what that is, y'all? If we remain silent, if we don't platform them, if we don't give them 15 minutes of fame, if we don't go to their businesses and support them with our money, shop where necessary, when necessary, if we exercise the power of our vote and unseat those on the caucuses. And a lot of us are looking at how to disband them. So far, to get Yvette Clarke out, we would have to make her lose her seat. There's no formal process. So I'm telling everybody, we don't always have to think alike, agree alike, bump heads, but we don't have to disparage the other. I'm talking to the lineage specifically. We get in our respective work groups and we work. And don't be fear-mongered by these other platforms thinking they know how we're going to identify or how we can or what we can't do. If we couldn't do the unattainable, they wouldn't be in this country. We could do it all. That it's exhausting, but we could do it all. So Afro, what day are you coming back on TikTok?
What day? Yeah, I want to come back tomorrow, to be honest. It's the last day, so
You just hit me with a little Brit there. Is the European coming out of you, Afro? Sounds a little British.
Well, technically, it was Saturday's the last day, so we might do it.
Look at this guy, so we could get rid of the fake page there. Let me say this before you answer, Afro. A boycott should never have an end date on it, right? A month for boycotting the African businesses, there was a date on it. You cannot take a month and address the behaviors that they've been exhibiting to us for centuries if we want to go there, right? But it's pretty diabolical. A month is not going to change the bad behavior because, as we see, they're still on here. So we made the impact, but they can actually do way better. So please, if you're not boycotting, get back into boycotting. The Caribbean is also on the list, and so are the Latinos and stuff. Shop where necessary. But when you coming back, Afro?
I don't BX. I don't know. I want to come. I'll come back tomorrow. I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll say that.
Well, I'm flexible, Just, I don't like waking up and then, oh shit, Afro's live. And it was
BX,
real early too.
come on. I blew your phone up, BX. I was waiting and I blew your phone up like.
Well, I lost the charge. I fell asleep. The phone, wasn't plugged in. It happens. I needed my rest, obviously. Now I'm refreshed. But I am kind of unplugging. I'm not going on every platform. I'm not answering every call. I only stay in FBA safe spaces, and they still know my name. They are stalkers, Afro. I think we need a virtual protective order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah. So maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I guess you
Yeah.
and ZZ will,
We'll
talk about it and
coordinate
get
that.
back to me.
Yeah, and we'll get
Yeah.
back to you. All
Be
right,
one family.
y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I will see you guys later.
Peace and be one.